Who you are? here. Back in Trenton. What's up, Trenton? As usual.
We are consistent.
We are not broadcasting. Fuck.
Lefty, that's who.
Come on, baby. Come on. Really? I'm not receiving anything here. Yeah. The mixer. Again with the mixer. We're back on. Woo! And we are back live in Trenton.
Back on a loud burst if you're wearing headphones.
There we go. So November was a great month for cannabis in New Jersey.
It was.
Got Phil Murphy in there, going to legalize. Got Ed Fortune found not guilty.
On the most, the biggest charge, the most serious charge. That is good.
That's real good.
Yeah, he can't get 12 so far. I mean,
But he's still in jail.
he's still in jail, and how long will he be in jail? They managed to yank his chain this time than they were last time. They got him where they want him right now. Even if if comes back hung again, then that's it.
Wait, isn't Menendez out on bail?
Yeah.
And I believe he's being held. I believe he's being held to stop him from running for mayor because I believe he could win.
He should run.
It would be interesting.
He should run anyway.
And I got to tell you, one thing we learned all across the country last year is you can't just say that's impossible.
All right, I had to stop the music because Ed Fortune's still in jail. But he's not guilty, but he's still in jail. All right, I had to stop the music for a second. Just fucked me up there.
I know.
Sorry.
Well, that's
Wow.
That's just a good example of the justice system and how it functions now.
Just us.
Now we have changes coming, and I'm growing increasingly happy with the way my phrase is. I've instituted a medical marijuana activist whiplash alert.
Oh, it was Ed Fortune that was found not guilty. I think we cut out. Ed Fortune was found not guilty. That's right. And he still sits in jail.
On the most serious charge.
Yeah, he's having a detention hearing, but it'll be in a while. He's got to file paperwork. It takes time. Yeah. While he sits in jail,
See,
it's his life.
So one thing I like is he turned around and gave a good double thumbs up. In other words, like, don't worry about him. You know, we can be pissed off on his behalf. We can be active on his behalf. But I think right now it's nice because I am so much less worried. You know.
They're making a martyr.
Yeah, they're doing a damn good job at that. You know, there's another. They got another calling if things don't work out as prosecutor. You know.
Oh, gee, yeah, she must be embarrassed, Stephanie Katz, and Boyle. How I mean, what did their parents do with the money that they gave them for law school? Really?
We didn't begin the podcast yet.
They got schooled.
We didn't like say welcome to the 99th and last regularly scheduled podcast after 3 years. Next week's a special edition. It does come a week later on Thursday.
This is our 99th podcast?
This is our 99th. Our last, if we didn't add Thanksgiving, this would have been it.
Wow.
And you know what? I'm good with that, though, and I'll tell you why. Everything we just said. What's going on? The whiplash alert. We just went from having probably the worst right there, if not the worst, governor you could possibly have for trying to get medical marijuana law or cannabis regulations of anything
He's the
at
worst
all.
governor
Anything at all. Well, for everything.
For everything in life.
But in this in particular, and it's been 8 years. That's a long time. For 8 years, the reason
8 years of social injustice.
The reason we do
Years of
this is
suffering.
we aren't allowed. We don't have a seat at his table, really anybody's table. But you know, it's been. I've been saying for all these years, no, we need to hit the ground running. We need to be there. Here's why, and we've done it by example. And
kudos to you, gentlemen.
And the best news I got was Peter Cameron. What's his name? The new chief of staff. Yeah, we'll get to
Camerano.
We'll get to know his name well.
We'll have to practice that one.
We will, because unlike the current spokesperson, who actually I think the governor should dock, because he does have a spokesperson who refuses to speak often about things, and a lot now during the lame duck session is just, you know, not available for comment, and that's his job. So, you know, it's a taxpayer job. I think, you know, should dock him $20, whatever. I know it would have been a short statement, you know, but it's a principle thing. You know, if we don't have principle, what do we have? Well, other than more money and other people and shit like that. You can get that without principle. But point is, we're looking at a whiplash here as cannabis advocates / activists, because the fight has always been to be heard, to make a point, and to get turned down, and everybody thinks you got beat, but you didn't because you make them look bad. And quite frankly, his numbers indicate that that's not been a tough job on anybody's behalf during his tenure. However, to go to a governor who chooses his chief of staff, and you know, I'm holding my breath until I read this. And when I read chooses chief of staff, I'm like, oh, come on. I mean, at least ambivalent. But wait a second. This is the man that was the head of a cannabis trade association, business association. Not the Cannabis Business Association. They certainly work into the same end.
Right.
We might want to clear that up between now and then, but the point is, his chief of staff, the one who the scheduler says, somebody from the coalition wanted to schedule a meeting, you know, it's not going to get laughed off. It could happen. And the reason is because people who are the suit and tie brigade recognize our viability as activists in our tenacity, keeping the issue right out. They get it. So when somebody like Bill Caruso, you know, or having a little brain seizure for a second here. Really, when anybody they trust says, the coalition and by virtue Sativa Cross, Sativa Cross, you know, you're probably not going to get a meeting based on that, but you will get interviews easy from Sativa Cross, you know, basically whatever you do in the future, because, you know, we're done as regular doing this, not doing it next year, but you can't not show up on an as-needed basis, you know, when it's coming up to a crucial area and people want to assemble. My guess is we're going to be asked to podcast in March and April when it's something they want to call attention to.
What about the inauguration?
Well,
down the
okay,
street.
you know, this
down the
is
street.
like one of these things. It's one man's ceiling is another man's floor. The inauguration is the beginning of a term. I'm looking at the moment that comes just before it. You know what I mean? Before, like, whatever is that second, or like when it happens. Yeah, it's sort of like I want to hear the door slam. You know, I want to be right there at that moment. And, you know, unless it's like really inclement weather, don't need a permit. And I'm assuming the inauguration, something takes place in the War Memorial.
Yeah, let's do it there.
That's the inauguration, I'm pretty sure. The State of the State takes place in the
State of the city?
yeah, well, somewhere in one of the chambers, the
In
assembly.
City Hall.
No, I mean the governor does a State of the State address.
State of the city. Oh, State
No,
of the
State
State.
of the State.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
they do
right,
that as
right,
well.
Right, the governor.
And you know, these are all going to be good things. You know, in other words, here's the whiplash alert. Yeah, we could make signs. I'm gonna have to take care of that. We could make signs, but they're a whole different nature of signs. It's like, you know, let's get this done. Hooray. It's a new day. We're making New Jersey great again.
Yes, we are.
And I didn't stand up with earphones on.
Good job. And good job to Ed Fortune's jury finding him not guilty. It was 11-1. There was only one person that was like a sourpuss on that jury. That kept like, you know, and she voted no the whole time. But everybody else wanted to free him. Free the weed man. There's no reason for him to be in there. It's ridiculous. I mean, if Menendez can be out, anybody can be out. Come on now. That guy. So also, I was found. Well, I wasn't found not guilty. I wasn't tried. So how does that work for me? I was found to be an idiot, and they dropped the charges. People are like, when you were in the room with the prosecutor, why didn't you talk about home grow? Dude, that was not the time to talk about anything. All I was there to do was apologize and be in and out. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Wasn't my fault. I'm a victim of circumstance. It was not my fault. They're saying I didn't clean up the jar after I dropped it, but you all saw the video. I did try to clean up that jar. I picked up the cap. I was in shock. All my medicine was on the ground. So, and I explained to the prosecutor that this happens all over New Jersey, that patients are being arrested all over New Jersey. It's not just me. And it's kind of messed up because there's people in really bad shape, in gurneys and wheelchairs that they can't get out of. And that's sad because they're being put through the system too. And there are people that we don't even hear about, that we don't know about. I only know 10% of the patients, not even. Probably 5%, and that's a lot. I know a lot of patients. And I know a small percentage. Imagine the stuff that goes on that we don't know about. Imagine all the shut-ins that just are not hooked in to the internet or hooked just out of the loop. You know, it's sad what's going on, and they need to be more aware. We need to create awareness. Oh, did you see my new group, Billy?
The psychedelic wheelchair group?
Yeah. We're going to do that in Trenton, too.
Definitely.
Because you got that problem in Trenton all over. You have steps.
Oh, yeah, there's no access in any of these
Yeah.
buildings.
There's no wheelchair access anywhere in Trenton. So what we're going to do is, and this is what you can do at home. It's real easy. You take a wheelchair and you paint it up all psychedelic. I want to put tassels on ours. Fucking hang some tassels on it and some beads, man. Just do it up real cool.
Put a cape on it.
Put a cape on it. You know what? That's a good idea. We can have some messages on the cape.
And dress somebody up as handyman
Oh my goodness.
from In Living Color.
So every day that wheelchair will be chained up somewhere, and then somebody would have to move it every day down the street to another block. A couple of people can have the combination. Get one of those U-locks that you have to like hacksaw through. So you can steal that wheelchair, but you got to work for it. If you want that wheelchair, you can have it. Just work for it. Show me you really want it. Because we'll give it to you. Seriously. If there's people that need wheelchairs, take it.
Right.
Take it if you need it. Obviously, you fucking need it. If you're cutting a chain with a thing with a hacksaw, yeah, you need it. Take it.
You must need it.
Take the wheelchair. Give it to your grandmother, whatever you got to do. Because that's one thing about life you got to do is help people. The meaning of life is helping people. I've heard a few people say that lately. I'm very happy to hear that. that other people are on board with that. Because if everyone starts helping each other, shit, man, we're set.
The world would be a much better place.
Man, we're good. Man, you help me, I help you.
Help me help you.
Help me. Helpful. And hopeful and healthful. All right. So, the wheelchair. Oh, what's this? Can I find? What video? Which video was I talking about? Where can she find the video I was talking about?
Of Hayburn?
Of Hayburn? Oh, that's on my timeline. Are we friends? Are we friends? If you're friends on Facebook with me, you can see it. I'm not sharing it with anyone else except my friends. So friend me on Facebook, Denise Stark. I don't think we're friends on Facebook. So yeah, just hook me up. I'm Lefty Grimes, or Edward Grimes on Facebook. And you can see the amazing video of me being attacked in court. How come you all didn't help me? You were all there. You should have helped me. I was being
in the
attacked.
courtroom. I wasn't. I just came in right
I
after.
talk about the buddy system all the time, and you guys left me hanging. You guys, I could have got hurt really bad. Hi, good morning. I'm hurt.
Got hurt really bad.
I'm scared to go in court now.
I was scared.
I have PTSD from court. From court. That's a lawyer attacking me in court, man.
If you watch on the video, you see I leave. I was not a witness.
Damn.
If you watch, I'm at like the 12-second mark. Me and baby Sydney, we weren't there.
Sydney might have seen it.
She might have.
Were you carrying her like a papoose on the back?
In the front.
She could have had a back view? No. Oh.
You need
Yeah.
a witness. I think the fact that, with your Scutari dropping the charges, with that happening, I think it was probably because he had me listed as a potential witness.
He was not happy to see me.
That's what it was. He said, I could squash Lefty like a bug, but,
He was
he's
so
got
mad at
he's got
me.
the power of Jim and the coalition behind him as a witness.
God, oh,
I know that couldn't be brought to
it was bad.
trial. That couldn't be.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was
They
so
just
all around.
they took that where they needed to take it against all hope that you would just go away. But that's
No.
and good.
I showed up in a wheelchair, and that was it. They were like, all right, this is it.
Yeah, but when you were done being in the wheelchair, you'd go pack it up in full view of everybody. And it's really what's important is people think that's like really a stunt, but it's not. People regularly use wheelchairs and then stand up to put them in for a lot of reasons, Like when I hurt my feet, it was the walking and the getting there. It wasn't planting my feet and doing something, I just couldn't step. So anyway, yeah, you got how many ramps now? 7? 7 ramps put in
7.
7?
But now we're going to get the psychedelic wheelchair, and that's going to get us even more. I hope.
I think it will.
Yeah, being
Okay,
nice.
I got it.
The magic wheelchair.
Yeah, the magical psychedelic.
I got to
wheelchair.
add some triangulation to this too.
Butter.
It's going to be fun because you're going to notice it right away. It's going to be this big, colorful thing. It's like, oh, look at that. Oh, what's that message say? Oh, it says, a step is a wall to me. That's what
Oh,
it
that's
say.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And every town will have a different one, and every town will have a psychedelic wheelchair. In Trenton, we're going to have one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you move it around. And we're not going to call people out like we were. We're just going to be nice about it. Unless they're dicks to us, then we'll call them out. But we'll be nice to start. I mean, But
Put some a holder with some pamphlets.
you know what? That is such a good idea, Billy. Oh my God. What? All right, a pamphlet's about.
And a comment box.
Comment box.
Where should
What's
a
your
wheelchair
hashtag?
ramp be put in?
What's your hashtag for this?
Psychedelic wheelchair.
People can't spell psychedelic.
Magic wheelchair.
They can't. I'm sorry. They're not.
All right, give me some hashtags, people. We need
Magic
hashtags for
wheelchair.
magical wheelchair.
Magical wheelchair.
That's one.
Wheelchair.com.
That's a good one. All right. Yes, I keep misspelling psychedelic.
That's what I'm saying.
I keep putting an H in there instead of
We
an
could
S.
throw a magical butter sticker on there.
Yeah.
Get a little sponsorship.
Goodness.
Little plug. The magical wheelchair. Sponsored by Magical,
The magical butter wheelchair.
I don't know.
The magical butter psychedelic wheelchair. You think Garen will go for that?
Sounds good to me.
But we have to call Garen and ask him about that. That'd be interesting. He really donated a lot to this Thanksgiving thing next week. I'm so excited.
Well, even just to get a decal to put on the wheelchair.
I think I have a couple somewhere.
To plug them.
Ew.
I'm pretty
Ew.
excited about next week's
It's
event.
gross. Don't do that.
Plug.
Don't do that. I am excited. I've never done that before. I've never like stood somewhere and like given out food like that.
I'm pretty
Well,
psyched.
you know, it's the gesture and, you know, the fact that you can't
Yes. How you
reach
doing, sir?
everybody.
Who are you? Come on over.
I just want a picture of the State House because I was
Oh,
born
give him a mic. Give him a mic.
I just want a picture of the State House because I was born and raised in Trenton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I make pictures out of wood, three-dimensional. And I want to donate it after I make it, but I need something to follow. Photographs either from Marsville here or from that way this way. So if I can get a photograph, I'll make it out of wood and then donate it to the State House. But everything's closed. How the hell do they get to work?
What do you want to do?
I sit closer to the
Get me
mic.
a
It's really
picture. That's
loud.
what I want to do.
My voice must
And
be
who are you?
booming today.
I'm Laura. Nice to meet you.
You're who?
Laura?
I'll have
Oh,
to medicate to get my Barry White voice going.
There you go.
So how do I get into the State House?
How do you
To
get
get
in?
a photograph.
To
I
get
just
Yeah,
want a
you,
photograph.
it's under renovations. You can't get in here. You can go into the annex here,
Yeah.
and right here, there's a state trooper inside, and this is where people who get into the annex. The buildings are,
around this
yeah,
way.
they're connected. I don't know where you can and can't go, but they can tell you.
You might be able to sneak in.
Right here.
You might be able to sneak in. I did it once.
Yeah,
but it's
you
all
don't wanna do
stripped.
that.
Everything's stripped, and it's.
Who are you guys?
You want some good pictures? We're the Sativa Cross Coalition
Coalition.
for Medical Marijuana, and we're trying to get cannabis for patients here in New Jersey that are sick,
Whatever.
Also, people.
cancer and epilepsy.
So,
I don't smoke. No.
No, nothing. Okay.
Tell him Lefty Grimes sent you.
I don't.
Yeah, use my name. No, to your right.
No.
To your right,
yeah.
sir. Yes. To your no.
Well, I'll give you a clue. Let's see. 3, 2, 1.
There he goes. There he goes.
Yeah, well,
All
actually,
right.
the truth be told, I don't.
It's getting hot.
I don't smoke it either. I use either vapor or I really especially like.
Yeah, you don't have to smoke.
It
No,
just
I
for
like-
the record.
I like the lozenges, you know, that the dispensary, New Jersey's dispensary, makes and distributes to patients, of which I am one. I like them. I mean, I don't like the way they taste, but I like.
I don't like the way they
No,
taste.
or-
I don't like the way they taste, but I don't care. You know, I don't really care.
Just for the record, we're not a concierge here. Don't
Yeah,
be
this is
asking
not the
us-
info
yeah,
desk.
Don't.
It's not the
you
info
got
desk.
Cannabis questions, fine. If not,
Yeah. Well, otherwise we'll
Keep
take
it
your
moving.
we'll take your picture with us and post it and make you look like a supporter. And facial recognition will give us your name, and then we'll post it where you were.
Oh, I don't smoke. He got really he left quick.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, he said whatever.
Well, I consider that a moral victory.
That's
That
good.
was as far
You don't
as
care.
it would go. That was dismissive, as if to say no, and I'm not going to say talk about no. Not
I
gonna
thought
talk.
at first he was saying he
Doesn't-
wanted
yeah.
to donate something to us. That's what I
yeah,
thought he was
yeah.
going to do.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
took a turn.
It,
Yeah, really. You know, more whiplash with the activism here. You know.
there's all kinds. We'll feed him next week if he comes back. We will feed him. People like him definitely got to feed him.
And well, anybody that would be here, it's going to be what it is, and we can keep the food from not being wasted, and we can
We can
find
take
a,
it to the
a
soup.
home.
It's
a
not.
home-
It's not going to be wasted.
and
Yeah,
we can find a home for anything. People can drop off, whether it's. I know there's. I'm going through a closet where there is. It's nice stuff. It's why it's still there. It's the kind of stuff that. I look for if I go out, and quite frankly, you know, I'll go places where you can buy used stuff that costs. It's like I got an incredible leather jacket one time for like I don't know, it's like $30 or something.
Oh, yeah, we
And-
love
and-
thrifting.
and it was well worn in. It's sort of like I don't want a brand new. I would rather have it
You
broken.
want that swag.
I want it broken in, you know. So anyway. This is 99 podcasts now.
99.
We would have been stopping here, but you see how bad that sounds like for a total 99? You know?
99.
He's trying the third door.
Yeah. I
That's-
guess they should be open there.
The second door didn't work.
Yeah.
What happened to the second door? It didn't work.
He went.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
in there.
Okay.
Let him-
yeah,
let him
whatever.
go, Lef.
Whatever.
Yeah. I would go down to the end of the block to where the actual governor's office is, you know, where I get the permits here every week for this podcast, the police permits that we take. So anyway,
I was here the other day. I had to file a complaint against Ed's old lawyer for assault.
really,
Yeah, going to court with him. Yeah. I'm suing him.
and that was at the current trial.
Yeah, look at my phone. He
he's-
cracked it. Look, he cracked my phone. See?
I know who he is.
He did. Look at it's cracked on it.
Fat
Spider to the
fingers.
top.
You can't do that.
And he hit my hand, the hand that I do.
Stenosis
My
hand.
stenosis hand, and I do other things with this hand.
Well, and it's not relative to any damage as much as you're not allowed to do that, and he knows that better than anybody.
Yeah, in court.
I mean,
And he should be held to a higher standard.
well, So what's your
You want to see it?
what's your end game
I'm going to sue him
for what?
for
Damages?
probably $1 billion. wait, $1 billion.
Don't lawyers take an oath of some sort?
Oh, Billy.
He should actually have to stop doing lawyerly things for a period of time.
Yes, let's do that. Let's sanction him and disbar him.
Oh, look.
Well, not disbar,
All right.
FCC.
There we go. Yeah, let's disbar him. Can we do that? We don't need lawyers like him. All he did was screw Ed over. He gave Ed bad advice, didn't he?
He works for the
I don't know,
prosecution.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the other side.
Well, be that as it may, the issue is he did something he can't, and I'm curious to see where it's going to go, and I'm confident I'm going to get to find out if I live long enough. I always add that now. When you come 65, I don't assume next month he lived that long. That could wind down, too. He's a lawyer. Lawyers are good at pushing things back, pushing it back.
Stall.
But the thing is, they don't know that that's like a feeding frenzy for you. It does the opposite,
Helps you build momentum.
I found out one thing about an animal that's already in my range and could absolutely do me in. A big dog of a friend of mine, and he wasn't like right there, and it might have started out at like 10 feet, and I took one step back, and he took 2 steps forward, and now it was 8 feet. I took a step back, and it made it 6 feet. So I'm doing the math. 3 steps back, it's getting closer. A, stay still. B, charge him.
Yeah, better off.
C, wait for my friend to yank his chain from a second floor. There's a big, long stairway down. So it went all the way up top. He knew I was in range, too. They know that. But anyway. Yeah, you're like that, They push you back, and you take 2 steps forward. And
Oh, look at this, Denise. Without Neil running Kenna Sense and no legal team behind me, I'm facing 18 months. What should I do? I'm poor. Oh, so Denise, you were part of Kenna Sense. I didn't know that.
Don't call Edward Hayburn.
do not call Edward. So, okay, now.
I got a call from Lou Santiago.
Wait,
about
so
that.
Say that
So
again.
Kenna
Say
Sense-
that again.
Yes,
Say that
Kenna
again.
Sense had a problem, and apparently Neil,
Huge problem.
Neil took over this thing, and there was a big problem.
Now tell
with
us who
this.
Kenna Sense is.
Well, they used to be a company that got you your cannabis card from California, here in Jersey.
And they were successful at doing that.
Yes, but now it fell apart. It fell apart before this whole raid, apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And the raid involved cannabis?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lots of
I'm
cannabis.
just trying to establish it because, like,
So
I
it's
kinda
kinda
I mean,
interesting, I
know,
think.
but nobody else would.
So he I believe was in Hightstown,
Yeah.
and according to the newspaper article, he had a lot of stuff, different edibles,
Yeah.
pounds, a lot of money. I think they
Yeah.
confiscated like 700,000, from his bank accounts.
Yeah.
He had a whole membership program. He had
And what would he say that would have been for? I mean, he is in the business of
I believe that
patients getting their card, and this is medicine to patients.
Sounds like
Is-
personal
is
use
it-
to me.
Yeah.
Stocking up.
Yeah.
But no, there was a problem before that, and he was doing something wrong. Obviously doing something wrong, but
Yeah.
there was
Well,
a fallout. So I don't know what's going on. Very sad.
so the people that were working for him, he's not giving them legal help.
No, I think there's problems. A lot of
It
problems.
sounds like it.
Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. When money gets involved, and you know what's bothering me? When they legalized cannabis, patients had to wait how many years for it to be implemented? How many? 4 years?
Well, it was legalized, signed into law in January of 2010.
We didn't get cannabis
and then it
until-
was, I think the first medicine, Ken was just telling me, I believe it was 5 years ago. We're celebrating the 5-year anniversary of
Right.
the first legal medicine being dispensed
So
recently.
if people that are suffering
So
have to
that-
wait
Well, that was like 2 years, though. That was like,
2 years, I think it was more than that.
well,
Greenleaf had
it
problems.
could, well, it could have been towards the end of 2 years. It could have been 2 years and 9 months or something like that. Like
Yeah.
a birthday.
It was
Could have
bad.
been almost 3.
But,
That's still a long time. It's not going to take that time in a state that really sees the economic value.
so money's more important than suffering people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just checking.
For getting legislation done, it seems to be a more moving factor. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it depends. See, that's just people suffering. That is why Cheryl showed up, because when she showed up, the answer was no, impossible. That was the whole point, to say, like, people would think of me as a patient, the guy with the beard and the hair and stuff. He's the one. No, it's look, it's her. So I see patients becoming involved coming up is what I'm excited about. I see that the lack of home grow in what will be the bill that gets introduced, that's going to get the attention next year, is going to be the one that's passed into law, and it's not going to have home grow, and patients are pissed, and they should be. They're hurt, and and I know when I'm in pain, it's not hard to get pissed off about the little things, but the fact that this could have been, if it was in the adult use bill, they could have circumvented the lack of concern for it being an issue for them, since it was passed into law that they could grow in 2009. That's more of the point. That they did have legislation passed in the Senate by the same man that wrote the bill. It's not going to include home grow for social adult use. How is it that he can be unresponsive to patients whom he and others let down so long ago in 2009 and 10? So you see the play. We want, if it will not be introduced as an addition to the bill, like an addition,
Separate.
that we want a separate bill, and we want to start now. We want it to overlap that. We don't want to say, oh, we're going to get in line. There is no line. When you're sick, okay, if there's a line, we're going to do this first, and then we'll get to passage of that. Patients are going to have to start taking part, and I like that there's, I'm seeing on the Coalition's Facebook page, gathering of information if you've been arrested for marijuana in New Jersey and you want to tell your story and become a statistic, it's time to do that. So will they take part at that level?
Well, I think now that people are talking about legalization, a lot of people are like, oh, good, we made it, it's final, it's done. And now is like really when people need to stand up and speak out, start saying that. If there's a chance that patients are going to be without medicine, then, we have to really figure this out.
We got a ghost walking up here now, a frequent visitor from an era long ago.
Hello, Greg. How are you doing?
Greg Moore is in the house. What's up, Greg?
Hi, Greg. Also got Honeyb on the line from Oregon, sleeping in a pot field somewhere.
That's what she does. She sleeps in a
Just
pot
waking
field.
up.
Just waking up in a field of cannabis. Good for you.
It's a beautiful field.
Oregon's nice this time of year.
I'm still dreaming.
That's great.
That's great.
Well, I didn't just miss something at the end of the show already, is it?
No. I just want to call Honeybee and include her in what's going on. It's our last regular
Honeybee.
show. And
I mean, I did drift off a little for a second, but I didn't think it was 2 hours.
No.
Time warp.
That did happen in an airport one time with
And we're done.
3 Rice Krispie treats in an airport where I was ahead of schedule and had to wait.
That'll do it.
Yeah, 45 minutes passed, and at once I was happy because it was 45 minutes later, and scared because if I sat there with no expression on my face without moving for 45 minutes in an airport, that's like 3 ways that people want to know what you're doing, because something is strange. And so then I started trying to act normal, and you can't act normal. You know, it's oh no, I just made 3 more things on a list of 10 things to watch for. I couldn't believe, you know, somebody didn't question how that was possible. The chairs aren't very comfortable either. Very Rice Krispie treats comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, that was just me. See, that was my paranoia. I had 1 and 2 to go. But they smelled like, you know, you could smell, if you know what to smell, it didn't smell like the plant specifically. You know, and 9/11 affected a lot of things. And
It really did.
And it affected my balls when it came to doing stuff like that. They took a hike. And that was my adjustment, you know. Oh, man.
9/11 was bad. There's a lot of cancer from 9/11. My friend's house, who just burnt down on Avenue B, he had 9/11 cancer. And there's a school. There's a school on Ground Zero with 9/11 cancer. You see that? It's a high school or a grammar school. They all have cancer. Like 15 kids got friggin' cancer.
It's horrible.
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, we got clusters of MS in Jersey, like not Morristown, Middletown, where Chuck Kwiatkowski lives. There's multiple sclerosis clusters. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I grew up near the cancer cluster of Ciba-Geigy, which was Tom's River Chemical before that, Tom's River, and you know, and while it was a cluster, it wasn't like, you know, 23 kids or something. It was, you know, like 7 when it should have been 2. So still significant enough for everybody to remember.
Yeah, we got chromium in Bayonne that they're cleaning up right now.
See, now you're scaring me, and it's not even about patients dying. You bum me out at the end of every podcast. You know.
We're starting it backwards next week, I thought. Not this week.
Yeah. You know.
Next week we're going to read the list to begin the show.
Yeah. We could even, and we could even do it in like little bursts. You know. I mean, it's like I don't want to. It's Thanksgiving. You know. I really like the one time we ended the season. It was around the corner, and it was with music and celebration and people singing inappropriate words to songs. It was fun. It was.
Denise says her neighbor is a captain.
Wave to the kids.
A captain in New York City. He has cancer. He retired and is now living in Florida, dying from 9/11 cancer. He's one of her patients. Oh, Denise. Okay, I get it. And Denise is in Oregon, Honeybee.
Oh.
Yeah, talk to her on the chat. She's from Oregon.
Who is?
Denise Stark. Do you know her? She knows you.
I don't.
Everybody knows you, Honeybee.
Everybody in Oregon knows everybody else. You know that.
Don't you go bowling together?
Terrible.
Oh my God.
So, Honeybee, my hand still
Funny.
hurts. My hand hurts. I can't bowl anymore because my hand.
Is that where you were assaulted by
Yeah.
a lawyer?
Yeah, my hand really, it's not the same.
Other witnesses.
Wayne Burrini was a witness.
Okay.
And the judge's camera was a witness. Judge Massey's camera, thank God, it was on.
Oh, that was a good one.
Well,
Yeah.
then that would be accessible.
Yeah, I have it. You want to see it? Have you
Well,
seen it?
I would like to. No, I would like to see it if
said
no.
everybody,
No.
if everybody could see it. You know, I mean, unless you
He
think
said
you
no.
can describe a.
see it. An
Not
assault?
really.
You can describe an assault. I did a good job.
It's just going to make me angry. Well, I don't want to get angry.
was
You're
like,
you're on the job.
can't take pictures of me, Lefty. Ow! Ow, he assaulted
Well,
me.
first
That's
of all,
audio
there's a
right there.
difference. There's
Just like that?
Yeah.
a subtle but very definite difference between can't and may not. You know, you obviously can. I mean, he knows you, right? Does he know you?
Who?
Oh, yeah.
The lawyer, what's his name?
He's well aware
Oh, yeah,
who
he knows
Lefty
me.
is.
Well, then he knows you obviously can take pictures of
Yeah.
him and pretty much anybody.
No, he's going to the prosecutor and saying
Yeah.
that I'm not allowed to take pictures of him.
Well, that doesn't seem to follow any statutory.
No, my parameters were I can't take pictures of the jury, I couldn't take pictures of the judge, the prosecutors, just Ed Fortune.
And
It
you
did-
knew that, and he didn't.
It didn't say anything about selfies and taking a picture of Wayne.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know the law. Then, are you saying, Lefty?
No, he's an idiot.
No, but he's gonna. What is he
Suing
gonna
me.
say?
Allegedly.
Okay, he didn't know the law. Maybe he thought that you couldn't, but you can, and you did know the law. However, not knowing the law ignorance of the law
is no excuse.
is no excuse.
It is no excuse.
Wow.
You see.
I want to use that.
Because
That's great. We should do a tour.
Basically, he is going to be put into a position to, in some way, shape, or form, say that. So the translation will be, ignorance is no excuse. Which, of course, did you ever trademark that?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
See that? Anybody else would have been no. You, it's hard to say. No, you really want to do that because anybody could just shut that down once you get started by, doing whatever they wanted. I tell you, after 99 podcasts, I'm pretty sure we got everything where it can't blow away. And I wouldn't want it to blow away. But if it blew away on the last podcast.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right. I'd find a way to interpret it positively.
Yeah.
We'd have a flock, I want people to understand. I asked, I said, we need this tent no more. And, didn't you hear me say it? Everybody says, yeah. And then the footage was blown away. And next thing you know, people will follow us. Things happen. If you need a ramp, I know who to call.
Ramp it up, New Jersey.
Psychedelic
ramps.
Or you ought to trademark that too. What does it cost to trademark a phrase? Do you have to prove that you use it? Just say, I'd like to trademark this phrase. And what does that cost?
A couple $100.
Yeah.
It takes time. But you could do it. You go on a government website. It's very easy. It just takes time.
I just want to trademark a perfect phrase for like a commercial, and then trademark it and then write the perfect commercial and then show it to somebody and say, you can't steal it. I trademarked the phrase, but you can buy it from me and make money. I want to make money off an idea instead of, I hurt my back doing a walkway. I had a broken back in '86, and it's the kind of thing you do stuff and you find out the next morning. You don't find out as you're doing it. It doesn't hurt then. And I'm thinking that just fosters my need to find ways to make small bits of money here and there off being smart, having good ideas. I know.
The dream.
I say it kind of kidding around, but the thing is, nobody expects it to happen. If it did happen, everybody would say he knew it was going to happen. That was his goal. Oh my God, he got, it'd be dumb luck if it happens. I think we all know that. And the podcast season is going to end without Senator Cruz Perez moving the ball.
That's what we're going to do today. We're going to call her up.
Yeah, no hurry. You had that on the list.
She's on our list.
You mentioned
What's that for?
We're going to call Senator Cruz Perez and invite her to Thanksgiving next week and ask her if she has any news about Roger Barber's daughter's bill.
Hey, you think Laura would want to come? Because she's probably not working on Thanksgiving. She could bring. Oh, it's going to be cold.
We did invite her, so.
It is going to be cold. It's going to be 28 up to 43 or something, and the wind's going to be around.
Oh my goodness.
10 or 11.
Are you serious? That's what it's going to be?
Yeah. But it's going to be sunny. There's no chance of rain.
Wow.
That's good. Or snow or whatever. Yeah, it's going to be a real brisk send-off for the 100th podcast. Imagine that. Would you have thought 100 podcasts?
No. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, the
100. Awesome.
The second year was a surprise. We didn't do the first year with a second in mind, It's like starting off taking a walk with no destination in mind. You just sort of keep walking and keep walking, keep walking. And then, it's sort of like, your podcast sucks. And it's like, we're not that kind of podcast.
Keep walking.
No, I'm just saying by what's considered podcast standards, we don't segment. We don't have, it's 12. We do. Okay, no, we don't segment the whole show. We have stuff segmented.
If we had commercials, we would. But we're like an Opie and Anthony show.
Well, but this is to our advantage here. The reason we have we're not that kind of podcast because that's an indoor podcast where you can segment and you can control what happens.
Everything happens.
We've had
here.
People stop by and show us gunshot wounds and stuff.
Oh, I was here for that day.
I mean, come on. You can't be. yeah, it's been
And
crazy.
they all have a story to tell, and it's surprising how often it actually does relate to cannabis.
It all
Because
relates.
they know they're more prone to approach us because they can see what we're doing. But the best podcasts we have been with non-scheduled guests that would come sit down, be coming in or out, walking by. You make phone calls when you need to. I know we'll be talking to somebody at Senator Cruz Perez's office. And I don't know what to say about that.
I'm pretty sad that this podcast is ending, though, guys.
Yeah, I
Like-
am in a way too. But the deal is, here's the way it's supposed to work. There's a lot of people involved now for a lot of reasons. We have, bizarrely enough, a really good reputation with people in and around Trenton and people in the cannabis business. So that as this year goes on, I think there's going to be a minor demand. Hey, Lefty, is there any way we could talk you into showing up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, there's 125 ways you could talk me into showing
Yeah.
up.
It's the weekly's ending. It's no more weekly thing.
You open up your back pocket and look all wistfully into the distance.
I'm pretty sad. This is part of my weekly routine.
I know. Well, it's become.
Yeah.
It's what makes it kind of fun, and I realize I miss it in the off season when something happens and I don't have my soapbox. I don't have the outlet to express it at the source of my discontent. That's been an incredible experience for me. It suits me perfectly. And look, they give us a stage. It's sort of like we're in a, we're relegated to here because we can't be there. But this is where we see people we need to see.
Perfect spot.
And it's where we'll be back when legislation's going to be discussed. And eventually there's going to be a real vote in committee on legalization. That's going to be huge. I imagine that's podcast day.
Are they forming a new committee about this legalization?
Who's they? What are you talking
Phil
about?
Murphy. I believe they're starting a committee.
Well, okay, his chief of staff formerly headed a cannabis business association.
Yes.
That's what he had to lure him away from doing that.
Lure him away.
And say, would you be the second most powerful man in New Jersey, the chief of staff to the governor, who has both houses of the legislature to work with from the same party? This is an interesting time. And again, I got to say it because it's true. Greg, you'll appreciate this. You got to watch out for cannabis activist whiplash going from Governor Christie to Phil Murphy.
Right. It hurts.
Yeah.
Because
It hurts.
it could not be a more exact 180 degrees.
Yeah.
There's no shortcut across that sphere.
No.
This is, you got to,
It's not a slow process.
Everything we
It's like,
do
whoa.
for 8 years has been either to get attention at what he's keeping from happening. The post-traumatic stress disorder edition we started, I forget when, declaring it the #1 issue. That I looked and I saw an old email of mine telling Ken, it's going to be about $75 for the half-inch foam board signs. It'll be 32 inches by 4 feet, one for each of 13 people who voted against this. And I looked and I remembered that and think, we put each one up on their own sign, and that's going back a long way. And then when it was sitting on the governor's desk, and people actually, the majority, I'd say 4 to 5, said he's not going to sign it. And I would take issue and say, I'm not going to argue about something that's going to happen one way or the other. Just, be there when I'm right. And it took a really long time. I mean, it didn't happen real quick. Because he had a certain amount of time he could delay before signing, and then we found out before the rest of the world and had our guarantee from Wayne Burrini. Because of the simple logic, and the shortcut to that is when you know the guy who makes the sandwiches that the governor gets on Saturdays from this fantastic, Burrini's Old World Market in Randolph. And when you know that, and that's the governor's done it for a long time, and then when the governor tells the guy to make the sandwiches that he likes to take home and eat, when you tell him, I'm going to sign it, and then if you don't, you need to start going to a new deli, because no man in his right mind would be enjoying a chicken salad. Turned out to be.
You don't lie to your chef ever.
Yeah, and well, you know, and if this is his favorite, it's sort of like that gave me such confidence. I've seen legislators reverse their mind for a lot of reasons. This one was a freaking lock. And I explained that to Steve Adubato and Rafael Piramon when I was on whichever show that was. They do Channel 12. I get the names mixed up. It wasn't one-on-one with Steve Adubato, but it should have been. I'll clip that out and send it in. I'll clip out the part about I'm going to clip it out and send it in. I'll clip it out just before I said that. So anyway, yeah, we did work with him to get that. What showed me the struggle was when children needed it in a non-smokable form. And he signed that into law, and it took a really long time. And we kept putting how many days it was sitting on his desk on a sign.
137?
Yes, that was the largest number I see.
That was crazy.
137 days.
Just sat there.
And we showed up every week with that sign. There was a couple other rallies. We'd show up with it then. But he did. But when he signed the edibles thing into law, he put his stamp on it, you know, like a dog pissing on a fire hydrant. He said for children, but not for anybody over 18. Meaning like people who have like, say, lung cancer,
Right.
and they're not going to smoke or inhale anything. No edibles for you. You know, the logic
Makes no sense.
was, you know, so that was then the...
You have to make your own edibles. You have to work harder and cook your own.
Well, there was this, but I have a sign for every occasion sitting out in the shed, you know. I'm going to be, I'm not retiring them. Yeah, they're being put down, you know. I got to retire some signs, but I'm clear now. I'm 65. I'm stepping back because this is so much going on. There's so many people. I can help other people who have good ideas and really want to put them into effect. And if somebody says, Jim, you know, yes, I will help.
All right, wheelchair? You're going to paint up a wheelchair for me?
Paint up a wheelchair?
and just chain it up somewhere in your town where there's steps.
I'm not going to do that.
See?
I'm going to be of no help at all to you on that.
We need you on the podcast.
No.
He said no.
No.
No, I'd go on the podcast. I'm not going to be chaining nothing up like that, though. I won't do it. You know, you get an indoor podcast and you want to talk and we can use our medicine, I'd stop by for something like that.
Okay.
You know?
We'll
Same.
do that. We'll do that.
You know.
You going to help with the wheelchair?
I'm not chaining anything up either.
You're not going to chain anything
I'm
up
already
either?
on the edge in the city of Trenton.
You're on the edge.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge.
I'm doing enough.
So listen.
I'm doing enough. We got a mayor election coming up that I'm trying to, you know.
One week from today, we got our last thing, our Thanksgiving thing, and all along I'm the kind of, okay, when it hits that last week, it's like we have the bases sort of covered, but it's in a non-coordinated way, and basically, if we just sat down, not here on the podcast, I mean, even as we're picking up, it's okay, step by step. You know, right off, I need to find out if there's somebody that can lend me a card table, a table like this. We need more table space. You know?
Definitely need more tables.
And as far as like, it's going to be cold and all, you know. I'm looking right now and I'm seeing it's like sunny out there. So I don't know how we don't know how things are going to work out. That's the beauty of being us. That's what I'm saying. We're not that kind of podcast. Yes.
That's right.
We suck when it comes to regular how everybody else does podcasts.
We're different.
But that's because we're out here and they're generally in there or somewhere where it's just kind of easier.
Yeah.
And that's good. But see, then you have to be good. You got to cut from here to there. You got to have something queued
That's
up, ready
right.
to go, you know.
Where's your commercials?
And you got to have usually somebody who acts as a producer sitting, you know, where he'll lean in and say something into the microphone, but you can see his fingers are working up a storm and he's sending texts and stuff like that, setting up, you know, what's going on and to get somebody on the phone. And, you know, I wouldn't mind doing that, but everybody does that. This was the fun part, being outdoors. And like you were saying, Laura, people over the years did make it part of what they do, those who could come regular.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to stand back and listen to you guys and learn and learn and learn, and then until I finally sat at the table, that was, So this podcast is a huge reason that I'm an activist today, and I know a lot of other people feel that way as well.
Well, there's one. I am the one who looks for the alternate plan C, D, and E. Everybody's got a plan A, plan B. It's a binary system. I like to go a little bit further than that sometimes, and I ask myself realistically, okay, what would get you back to do something regular next year? And it would take so much. It would take something, one, really important that I thought we could have an effect on, and it could be on a limited basis, But what about this? What about, is there a way that through our tenacity on a weekly basis here, do we have a supporter in the new administration, the friendly one? I'm trying to use the new view and say, could we get a room? Could we have a podcast on Thursdays in a room, and people would know it, and, they could come in and listen. They could say, I'm going in to see the podcast, and it's in a room, whatever. Because you are allowed to do that. You can request it, especially through a legislator. So, okay, that wouldn't happen necessarily in this administration, but if we had a purpose like that, this is where legislators would know where we are and could stop by. Could we use our contacts in a new administration to, actually be a visual outlet?
Oh yeah, I like that.
Almost like a weekly rolling press conference of sort, because there's going to be stuff happening maybe every week then, So if it's not moving fast enough, if there's just so much going on, I thought we could have there is ways I'll be available, but it wouldn't be setting up the tent and lugging in things, which, it's not that much effort, but,
It is, though.
But it's the regularity. I would probably, this is how it all began. Jenny was going to do this, and I said, well, I will attend as many as I can. And depending on what I'm doing, and, my feet were way more hurt then. I didn't have a lot of work options. So I said, yeah, I'll attend. And then 9 episodes in, she moved to Colorado, which was great.
Wow.
And then, but that left me just kind of playing it out,
Ghost.
What's going on? We, that,
Now this is where we would do a commercial. I would go like this. I go 5, 4, 3, and then you go to break.
Yeah.
And then we go, hey, this is brought to you by Magical Butter. See, that's a spot. That's how you do it.
Magical Butter.
You want to practice that? You want to practice doing that?
No. What for? It's the last podcast.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it right. So I'll give you a 5.
Oh, you're saying after 98 we want to get it right one time.
Let's do it right this last time. Let's do it right.
We'll have some archive footage.
This podcast is brought to you by Magical Butter.
It has been all year. All years.
Ready? No, wait. No.
Wait, how do we do
I
it?
don't sing crap, man.
I don't know the song.
Well, Lefty made it up.
Yeah. I love this song.
It is catchy.
It's really good. It's really old, too. All right, this is it.
What is it?
It's Tommy Dorsey.
Tommy
It's called
Dorsey.
Magical Butter makes your recipes better.
Better.
Magical Butter makes your recipes better.
So much better.
Brownies, cookies, smoothies, sauces, soups, veggies, candies, salad dressings for your tossed salad, Grizz.
Is that all? And no, Jim, don't do tossed salad.
Tossed salad's great. It's nice lemon, butter. Mmm. Alcohol, glycerin, coconut oil, olive oil,
Yummy.
avocado, sunflower, grapeseed, peanut, much more.
Much more. Much more.
Comes with the love glove.
The love glove.
With the love glove.
And
Everyone needs a love glove.
you can't stain it. It can't be stained.
No.
That's the old Christopher Walken sort of thing. It can't be stained.
Stainless steel.
You can't do it.
It's computerized.
Yeah,
needs
stainless
more
steel. It's
cowbell.
unstainable.
Is it hard to use?
No, it's easy as could be.
2 buttons.
Two buttons.
Right.
2 buttons.
1-800-424-334. 1-800-424-334. Get your magical butter machine from magicalbutter.com.
There's a 420 in there, isn't there? Listen to that phone number, 1-800-420. Right?
1-800-420-4334. Magical butter.
How do you like your salad? Tossed?
No, man.
Yummy.
Not unless I watch it. Get tossed.
Oh my goodness.
Now I'm starving.
Grizz is just figuring out, I think I know what he's talking about.
Yummy.
Nice arugula. Arugula.
Yeah, I'm not okay. I haven't taken part in that discussion in its 99 episodes, and I'm not.
Well, I was just kidding.
Oh my
I
goodness.
like my salad healthy.
Well, it is, in Australia, it's probably called something else,
So there you go. You got your spot now. Magicalbutter.com. Okay, so now we're like regular radio podcast.
That was great.
And apparently, you can get botanical butter in 2 hours, oil in 1.
Yeah.
And it must be fun because on the box there's an exclamation point after each.
It looks like fun. It looks like fun.
The thing is, the serious nature of a magical butter machine is I haven't heard people say, here's why I don't like it. I mean, it works. It does what people expect it to do. It has a really good track record.
We gave away 18 machines to 18 sick patients, and it's helped all of them.
And that was, we were allowed to do that by the generosity of Karen Angel and the magical butter people across the board.
I'm sorry, Chad died. Let's not forget Chad.
Okay.
We gave him a machine, but he didn't make it. Just saying.
Well, 1 out of 18. That beats the program's odds.
And Roger had a machine too. Does that count?
Yeah.
That counts. Yeah, he had a machine for his daughter.
Yummy.
It does make yummy stuff. It really does.
That's a lot. That's a lot in a monetary value that people didn't have to spend on those 18 machines. That was they got to spend that on what they needed to put into the machine. And in some cases, have a little help getting that. I understand. Can't tell you who, can't tell you how, can't tell you where, can't tell you when. I can tell you why.
The Magical Butter Company, I see them in a lot of the different chat rooms, and it seems that they give out a lot of machines.
They sure do.
They do. I've noticed. I don't know, the owner. I obviously don't know the company, but I see that they do give a lot of machines to a lot of people that need them.
Yeah. That says a lot.
It really does.
I mean, and it's we're not a high-profile way to do it. I mean, we're who we are. So it's not like, well, this way everybody's going to know, and I'll pick up some sales in New Jersey. It's not necessarily.
No, he's just out to help, man. He's trying to help people.
He did get a recommendation through us from my brother in Canada. He got one, and he's used it a lot. I mean, he gets a lot of use out of it because in Canada it's easier to do that. So he's got an international reputation.
Honeybee?
Not the end, is it?
Quick question, Honeybee.
It's a reflex.
Honeybee, who's the bigger douche, Donald Trump or Chris Christie?
Ooh, you're not
Donald Trump.
I think Chris Christie's bigger. Because at least Donald Trump's aware of his douchiness.
What's give me a mic. What'd you say? What'd you say, Ghost? At least what?
At least Donald Trump is aware of his douchiness.
No, he's not. Is he
You don't
really?
care.
I don't think he. No.
I think it depends on what day it is.
I don't know,
Like,
man.
I don't know.
I'm actually not sure that I
Donald Trump.
think it's a different world. I mean, actually.
Yeah, he lives in a different world than we do.
We're basically, it's a magical world where you say things and it becomes real just by saying it.
It's crazy.
Can't imagine the things I'd be saying about myself if I wanted to invent a whole new person.
Okay, here we go.
Who are we calling?
Senator Cruz Perez.
Okay.
What was our last podcast that we're going to do anything like this?
My name is Edward Grams on the air. Lefty, Grams on the air.
Good afternoon, 5th Legislative District. Ray speaking. How may I help you?
Good morning. This is Edward Grimes. You're on the air. I'd like to speak to Senator Cruz Perez. Is she in?
I'm sorry, she's not available, and you're breaking up just a little bit, but may I take a message for her?
Sure. This is Lefty Grimes, and I'd like to invite her to our podcast on Thanksgiving at the State House. We've already invited her through Alexis, but I just want to make sure that she knows about it. And
it's actually at the annex.
at the annex, yes.
Okay, police permitted final and 100 podcast that we've done here, and Senator's been good enough to be a friend to our issue, which is medical marijuana. And there's just one stone left unturned before we're done. Right. And we have Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to be feeding anybody.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Grimes. I'm sorry. I can barely understand what you're saying. It seems we have a bad connection. May I have a phone number for you?
Sure. It's 908 616 0682.
Let me make sure I heard you correct. I have 908 616 0682.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And your name is Mr. Grimes?
Yeah, I just want to invite her to our podcast and see if there's any news about Roger Barber's bill, the bill to get Jenny her medicine in school. I don't know the bill number. Jim just left.
Okay, medicine in school. Okay, and you said this was it? You said a podcast? Did I hear you correctly?
Yes, we're doing a podcast right outside the annex right now.
Okay. Well, I can certainly have forward the message to her and have her return your call. Is there anything else that I can add in here? I apologize. All I got was podcast on Thanksgiving regarding the bill on medicines in school.
Yeah, at 11 o'clock, and we're giving away food. We're giving away dinners and clothing to the people of Trenton on Thanksgiving. And we'd like to know if she'd want to donate any money to that also, or donate canned goods or clothing or anything like that.
I see. Donations. Okay. I will certainly forward the message and let her know so she can give you a call back.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. What was your name again, Lou?
My name is Ray.
Ray. Okay,
Martinez.
Ray.
Yes.
Ray, thank you so much, Ray. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I hope you have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
It's cold, brother.
Well, that was productive, I think, maybe.
It wasn't hurtful, so that's good.
Oh boy.
Did you guys get my flyer I sent?
I see it here. I
Is
haven't
it-
got to look at it yet. Yeah, I have to look at it. Look at the leaves blowing over there. Yeah, Jim. Oh my. Wow. It's really, really. Oh wow. The wind is really whipping.
45 seconds. This whole tent's gonna be like.
It's the wind is really, really. This is all right. So y'all gonna complain about us doing podcasts outside? No, this is tough doing it out here. We're dealing with all kinds of elements. Wind. Listen to the wind. Here, I gotta turn this down. Listen to the wind. Here, listen to this. People screaming. Wow. Hey, Grizz, what happened in court?
Okay, so this is what happened, right? They told me that I had to come up with $200 for a public defender.
Wow. I bet he's a prosecutor in the next town.
You said what?
I bet he's a prosecutor in the next town. Like he's a public defender here, and then over there he's a prosecutor. He's just one of those guys that works both sides.
Yeah.
Making deals.
So the next time
with
I
your
go
life.
up there, I'm gonna have to tell them that I don't have $200 to just give you for not using the sidewalk. So that's basically you coming up to me and you applying jurisdiction on me and telling me that I have to give you $200 for not using a sidewalk. Come on, man.
So what? Wait, hold on. What happened now? You were skateboarding. I got you. You were skateboarding.
I was skateboarding.
And you went off the sidewalk onto the street?
Actually, I wasn't skateboarding at the time. I had my board in my hand, and I wasn't on the sidewalk. I was about to start skateboarding until I got stopped. He approaches me.
Oh, my God.
Are you from around here? Yes, sir, I am.
Wait, let's do it again.
Well, yeah,
hey, boy.
Then what happened?
Hey, boy, are you from around here, boy?
You from around here?
Yeah, I'm
What
from
you
around
doing
here.
around these parts, boy?
can I see your ID?
Yeah, give me some ID. Let me see your papers.
For what, man?
Give your papers.
You're being detained. For what? For not using that sidewalk. Okay, I'll use the sidewalk. Get your ass. You grab my arm. Get your ass back here. I'm like, what you got on my arm for, man? You testing up on me.
Wow.
Oh, grab my arm all tight. He was more scared than I was.
Stop
I wasn't even
resisting.
scared.
Stop resisting.
He was terrified. He was like, he knew he was doing something wrong. So I'm like, yo, can you please let go of my arm? He's like, give me your ID. I'm like, can you please let go of my arm so I can get my ID? Give me your ID. Please let go of my arm, because I had my skateboard in one arm, and you holding my other arm. So how am I going to give you my ID?
Wow.
And both of my hands are occupied. I give him my ID. He's like, well, so are you from around here? And you don't have to ask, you don't have to answer questions.
No, you don't.
Police ask you them. You have the right to remain silent. I'm like, so when he asked me that, I'm like, come on, man, ain't nobody friends with you. I'm not finna tell you all that. How long have you been around here? That's none of your business, okay? Don't worry about how long I've been around here.
How long you been around here?
So after that,
you got the gun, buddy.
That's when it got real. Homeboy, I put my hand in my pocket while I'm telling him this, because I'm chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared of you. I have a skateboard, you have a stick, and you have a gun attached to your waist. But you more scared than I am. I'm not even scared, actually. You know what I'm saying? So after that, that's when he feels that he has to intensify my heart to scare me. So he says, get your hands out of your pocket, get your hands out of your pocket, get your hands out of your pocket! 3 times at once, in a matter of 2.5 seconds. Then he snatches my hand out of my pocket, and then he grabs my other arm, and he says, why are you tensing up on me? Then he slams me on the ground, puts me in handcuffs.
Because you're wrestling me?
Starts going through my pocket. 2 other cars pull up. I'm on the ground looking crazy. And then he says, you're under arrest for obstruction and not using the sidewalk. I wish he knew how stupid he sounded at that point. But I'm gonna make a fool out of him when I get my stuff right. You know what I'm saying? But
did you get the police report?
Ridiculous. Not yet. That's why I came to see you today.
We have to get that.
We'll discuss that later. But
yeah, we need
you know
to
what I'm
get
saying?
that.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's detailed. You want to see the detailed their explanation?
To make it even worse, on the report, he said that the defendant refused to move his hands from his pocket and prevented the officer from moving his hand, when on the video it clearly showed that he snatched my hand out of my pocket and then he grabbed my other arm. So that's excessive force and unreasonable seizure. You did not tell me what my crime was. You putting me in the back of a police car.
I want to go there with my wheelchair, and I want to go there with the wheelchair and show me exactly where you skateboarded and how where he was. It's dirt. There's dirt on the sidewalk this thick. You can't skateboard over it.
So how?
Right.
So
who wants to skateboard on the sidewalk?
So my wheelchair probably can't get over that either. I'm going to show that in court. I'll make a video of that.
You want me to use the sidewalk? Fix it.
Yeah, fix the sidewalk. It looks like it's all dirt.
Next
to me.
Monday is when I gotta go back to tell them that I don't have money to pay for a public defender.
All right, represent yourself, and I'm there. I'm there with you.
That's what I was thinking. You probably do better representing yourself.
Yeah.
Pull a Ed Fortune on him.
Yeah.
Damn right. I ain't scared of these people.
No, just do it. Fight him. It's a bullshit charge.
It was a lie. The cop
Yeah,
lied.
that's
God don't
exactly
like it when people bear false witness.
No, they don't.
The 10 Commandments is sitting right out front of City Hall.
Nope.
Thou shalt not bear false witness. You lied on the police report and you said that I prevented you from moving my hand from out of my pocket. You snatched my hand out of my pocket, you liar.
How else are you supposed to react to someone trying to get into your pockets?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Natural reaction would cause like no.
Officer fag nosy.
Like regardless if you're an officer or a regular person, you're not gonna walk up to somebody and try to take their hands out of their own pockets. That's like
you gonna arrest somebody for not taking their hands out of their pocket and then say that they're resisting arrest. Well, what am I being arrested for? For putting my hands in my pocket? Come on,
that's
man.
a crime now. Yeah. They're gonna
ridiculous.
They're gonna stop making pants with pockets in them.
People, do not put your hands in your pocket.
It's illegal.
Even when it's
apparently.
cold out.
It's illegal apparently.
Because if we catch you with your hands in your pocket,
you're going to jail.
We're gonna arrest you.
Have you ever dealt with a police dog?
A police dog? No, sir. I damn sure don't plan on it either.
There's protocol. When a police dog is chewing on your body, you cannot resist.
Oh,
what?
You cannot resist. You have to lay there and allow that police dog to chew on your
to gnaw
scrotum.
on your, yeah. Okay.
Assault on a
Picture
police
that.
dog otherwise.
Yeah, you cannot resist. You have to lay there and let the dog bite your balls. Just so you know, I don't want you guys getting in trouble. So
he assaulted my canine when he was chomping on his. What?
Crazy, man.
Are you serious?
Crazy.
Yep.
This guy, he's got his dogs. His dog is like latched onto my aorta, and you want me not to?
No, you can't do nothing. No, stop resisting. Stop resisting.
What?
The officer is.
I'm in
Stop
fear of my
resisting. That's an
life
officer
right
of the
now.
law.
Ooh.
I can't stand liars.
He doesn't have thumbs.
hate
He's not an
liars.
officer in my eyes.
No, they're smart. Once they become officers, they're really smart. And they
Oh,
know
yeah?
the laws. They know
Oh, yeah?
exactly how to treat you. And
yeah.
the dogs are smart. We got smart dogs.
And they're colorblind, so that's a plus.
No, I don't know about that. They're trained to go after the black guys, I think.
Okay.
It's my liberty, and I need it now.
Well, they send eye signals to the dogs. You never see that, right? I mean, when the dog is supposed to sit, do whatever he does,
Yeah.
you telling me you can't just have a little like that?
Yeah,
and the
right.
dog does that, you know.
You wink at the dog.
Doesn't know why he's not getting food at that moment, but he did just what you
he
told
did tell,
him, you
yeah.
know.
Crazy, man.
Wow.
Crazy.
No, we're going to fight this, Grizz.
Yes, we will fight
As
it.
a team. We're going to fight it as a team. We're going
That's
to go in
right.
there hardcore with a bunch of people with cameras.
That's
let's,
right.
Let's go film the prosecutor.
And they're gonna be like, all this for that?
Yeah.
For hands
Yeah.
in the pocket?
Yeah,
Well,
leave
this
us-
is what
yeah.
happens. You're not.
Yeah.
No little victories.
I'm
Leave
actually,
us alone.
I'm glad that he lied, because God is going to judge him for that.
Did he arrange?
Sort of
Did he
straight lie.
did he Miranderize you as?
He did that when I was in the back of the car.
Oh well.
He didn't give me no Miranda warning.
Let's get that report today. We need that report.
Let's get it.
Because
Immediately.
that's got you
See what
all-
they fabricated.
I also
on
have a
the report.
surprise for you, too.
Really?
It's in my book bag.
Oh.
Has to do with zombies.
Yeah. All right, let's keep that under wraps. Yep. Shh. That's good. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
You can't talk about
I went
zombies
to
like that.
McDonald's the other night, right after I came from court, and I met this guy named Eric Cooper, who's a writer, very talented. This guy is the creator of his very own superhero,
Nice.
and he's like underground, and
love underground.
he's had affiliation with people from Marvel and DC, and he was giving me game. You know what I'm saying? He was like telling me what I should do to be able to.
Contact information.
Of a new comrade that I'm gonna have to add to my super anti-hero
dude.
clique, because this
Network.
guy is awesome. I would love for you to meet him. He has some very good words of wisdom. His character is called Night Seeker, and he is Night Seeker. Like, he's a real life superhero. Like, he has stories to tell, and a lot of Marvel and DC executives have. Lots of respect for him, and I just met him just that one time that night. I guess he said that the universe makes certain things happen for a reason. We met for a reason that night, because when I came from that courthouse, I'm like, wow, I have to come up with $200 for not using the sidewalk. Like, come on now. And then it's like this, him just sitting there was like a ray of hope, because he saw my shirt, my Peter Darker shirt.
Nice.
Let me show you, right? Is this right here?
Nice.
My Peter Darker shirt. He was like, is that Alien? I'm like, nah. This is me, Peter Darker, the super anti-hero. And we started talking from there, and, you know, it was a wrap. Got his number and everything. I'm gonna hit him up today, and I'm gonna let you know more about him. He's a
Nice.
really cool guy.
Yeah.
And he's from
pissed
Trenton,
off.
too.
I'd be pissed off, too, because, Jim, that doesn't happen to white people. We don't get jaywalking tickets. We don't get tickets for walking on
I
the...
got some wind control.
no.
I got signs blowing
I saw
around,
that.
if you noticed.
When I went to Linden, I saw a
Traveling.
second black guy with a friggin' jaywalking ticket. They give black people jaywalking tickets.
I've never received one. I've never witnessed
Crazy.
one.
That's
being
dumb.
written.
That shouldn't even be.
What is that named after somebody or jaywalking? It
I
just
think it's the
it just
acronym.
seems like
I
they
don't-
could, you know.
I don't know.
Look it up.
What's that all about?
That shouldn't even be.
There's a stand
against the
for
law.
something like jerk off jerk off walking or whatever. It's called jaywalking. You know.
crazy
I was just
world.
kind of curious. I mean, you didn't stop what you're doing, but
Yeah. it
I
doesn't-
might just hold that Thanksgiving sign out in the sun, sit on a chair or something for a while.
Okay, a J used to be a generic term for someone who was an idiot, a dull, a rube, an unsophisticated, poor, or simpleton.
What? Really?
Yeah.
So like
an idiot.
All
Get
of Americans.
out. See, we learned something there.
Jaywalk.
Idiot walk.
Idiot walk. If you're not a genius and you
So
cross
what
the
was-
street.
Yeah, but why J? I mean, does it say why?
J used to be a generic term. That's it.
Really?
In what year? Like the 1800s?
J.
I've never heard anybody refer to anybody as a J. Oh, he's a J. What?
And then after all these years, it became known for a joint. You know, I mean, really, was its probably second most popular use in history.
Right. I don't think jaywalking would be.
And
number
you
one
know,
in my book.
and I'd smoke a J, and I'd turn into that simpleton.
For the record, I just want to say this
proudly, though.
Right.
You know.
But
what's that?
They got Batman versus Superman out. I think that's pretty cool, but you know what I would think would be a lot cooler?
Yeah.
They need to do a live action Black Panther versus Captain America.
Nice.
Right? You know Jack Kirby got fired for that after the first 10 issues. It was like, oh no, we can't have that.
They don't like the symbolism behind that one.
Ooh, no.
Let's call him Beige Panther. Why does he have to be
Well,
Black Panther?
I would love to see that. Black Panther versus Captain America, live action film in movie theaters. That's something I would pay to go see. And I don't care about.
Why don't you bring it up to Marvel? You got the
Well,
connects
the
now.
fact is,
I can make that. I can make my own.
You're saying you would pay to see it. You're not the only one. That's
someone
that's
would pay
the key
you to
point
draw
right
it.
down.
I would do that.
When
everything, I
that's
would
how
do
you
that.
can get you $200 for
As a matter
that
of fact, I'm
public
gonna do it
defender.
anyway. And I'm gonna keep it for myself, so I won't have to worry about getting sued for copyright infringement.
Or just
Yeah.
name it, like slightly change the names, like almost Black Panther, so he can be like,
Yeah.
he can be like multicultural Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
There we go. Indian Panther versus Captain Canada. There we go. There we go. Captain Canada. He can have a maple leaf on his uniform. Is there any danger here, eh?
Well, it's a good alliteration, though, Captain Canada. You know, and it rolls right off your tongue.
Yeah, right. It's smooth. There you go. And with 16% of that idea when it gets published.
Yeah, I don't really care about a Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, the short version of Captain Canada would be the CACA, but that's like caca. That means something else entirely.
Yeah,
you know?
it definitely does.
Caca.
Captain Caca.
I'll tell you.
You got any more topics left?
Well, here we go. A jaywalker was a curse word. People kept running in and out of traffic and dying. So the government came up with the name jaywalker. They made people feel like idiots because of this terminology. And people stopped walking into traffic because they felt like idiots.
Well,
So it wasn't like getting hit and run over that did it.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah,
it was the opinion of other people as to your character.
getting hit by a moving vehicle didn't alter anything. Oh, they're calling me jaywalker. Don't stay on the sidewalk. You don't see that car?
I think that's like thinning out the gene pool, though. I mean, if you know.
Jays are idiots. So just so you know, well, let's bring that back. Let's start using that again.
Jays.
Jays.
You know,
Well, I gotta change
Let's
Jason's
smoke,
name
let's
in my
smoke an
car.
A.
Yeah.
Let's smoke a J.
So you gotta like stop with stuff like that.
Let's smoke a J for jaywalking.
Jaywalkers Anonymous.
This wind is like daring me to get a good picture.
This
of it
wind
trying
is
to tear
tearing
this
me up.
apart. This is like.
I'm gonna say, go get you a bigger coat,
I'm
yo.
pretty
Listen,
sure we
I
got
got
it
layers
where it's
on.
not going
I know what
anywhere.
month it is. You can catch me out here. I got like 3 thermals
Well,
on.
next week is gonna be like real
4
cold.
pair.
Thanksgiving can
Yeah.
be cold.
I got coats
Yeah.
for next week.
Hopefully it will be
Oh
cold.
my goodness.
But
There's
see,
Christie.
I'm like
Uh-oh.
looking out in the
Somebody get him a donut.
at the sunlight, and I'm thinking that's gonna look real good next week.
Get him a donut.
You want a podcast over there next week?
I don't know. You know, it depends.
Will they
See,
let
the,
us?
the reason this isn't blowing away right now is because we're hooked to this railing. Other than
yeah.
that,
I know.
yeah, keeping all 4 still without a railing for 2 of them, that's never going to happen if
Right.
it's windy.
This wind got me blown away.
Yeah. It's going to rain next week a little bit, too.
No, it's not going to
gosh.
rain.
Oh, it's not?
Nah.
All right, let me
my
check that, too.
God.
It's looking pretty good for us.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll
Just
check.
going to be cold, though. It's not going to get out of the low 40s, and somewhere during the day it's going to be 28.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
So
now,
it's-
on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should be in the sun.
Well, you know what we could do?
Yes, we should.
We could
Too much shade.
do this band. It's gonna, we.
I think we should do it over there.
No shade.
Well, ask forgiveness. We'll just ask
No,
forgiveness.
I don't really care. It's
And the
last
grass.
podcast
And the
anyway.
grass.
What are they going to say? Go home. You know. Well, again, with it's the tent top. You know, that's not going to work. It's really not.
And we can't block the sidewalk, can we?
No.
Didn't think so.
No.
Because I was thinking we could hook up to those parking meters and be A-okay.
No, can't do that.
So no tent.
Well, we don't have to have a tent top out there. The whole point is being the sun. I mean, let's get a tent top and be in the shade in the sun.
Yeah.
You know.
It's counterproductive.
Yeah, we want the sun.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, without setting that up, I wouldn't mind putting the tables out there, sitting down at the table out there, run the cords out there, and being in the sun out by the road.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
We got enough cords to run from here over.
And you know, we won't really have to explain ourselves to anybody who's outside, because it's going to be cold.
They're not going to give a damn.
It's not uncalled for on Thanksgiving. That's why we always quit the Thursday before Thanksgiving. This is the bitch slap for us. So that's why you should have quit.
You ever been
now
so
I know why we
cold?
never do this.
You ever been so
That
cold you
reminds
started
me.
shivering?
I'll tell you though, I'd trade that for the fact that you realize how little we got rained on this year compared to other years.
big time.
We got rained on regularly at times. And
like clockwork.
oh man.
You ever been so cold you started shivering?
Oh yeah.
You need some thicker jeans, Christie. I don't know what to tell you.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Skinny ass.
Skinny ass jeans.
Came out like this.
Oh, now you
Well,
regret
actually,
not looking at
you
the
know,
Weather Channel.
if we're out there as well,
You know it's November, right?
fellow patient,
Like it's supposed to be cold right now.
we're allowed to use medication right there.
Yes.
I feel like dressing for June today. Get on my skateboard.
Well, we will be
alone.
we will be observed by the state police are on full duty down where they have all the cameras and the bank of cameras, so they will be able to see us.
They'll be okay.
Yeah, well, it'll be okay because they know that we medicate. It's just, you know, it's the normal low pass, and it's a matter of, no, I wasn't. I wasn't. You know, it's like anybody with cards got their hand up.
Right.
You know, the old system used to be when we were in front of the State House, across the street in between two stair well things there. And that would be just a place where nobody ever carded. So non-patients are allowed to hang with patients. You don't have to keep your distance. So the patients always faced this way, leaning on the wall,
Right.
and the non-patients always faced the other way, taking the low pass. you know?
Right.
That's all, but we don't even have to do that out here. It's sort of like
I think they probably figured.
I'm trying to remember. I think because it's the same bank of cameras that when I watched the bank of cameras when they had it, whenever I get the permits, and the view always seemed to be this way and from the end, you know, like out there.
Right.
But like right now, this is like there's absolutely no
Visibility
camera
of it.
right here.
Right.
We could be passing a dude right now. So I was thinking Thanksgiving that would have been cool, but not, you know, the trade-off for being in the sun's probably going to be a good thing.
Yes.
It's not like we have a template for Thanksgiving. We've never done that.
Nope.
But there will be food from Burrini's
Well, this-
Old World Market. I mean, this is from the governor's favorite establishment to buy food at.
Oh, let's invite the governor.
Let's
Why
invite
not?
the governor.
Yeah, let's invite the governor. Hold
Call
on.
him.
Yeah, let's do that.
Call him.
Well, just
Governor?
okay. The message is that
Hello, Governor.
Did we get in contact with the new?
Well, it's from his favorite place. Yeah, but the thing is that this is that the governor really should get the message because this is from his favorite eating establishment. It's in Randolph, you know, right next to Mendham.
Hold on, I'm looking for his number here. I used to have his number. Here we go.
It's for leaving it's for they'll take a message. You just got to keep it like really short and realize that the last time you did this, she got like 3 words down. You know, you had to read it back. She wasn't too bad actually.
I'm hungry.
Hold on. Okay. I haven't really talked to Greg yet.
Governor's office.
Yes, hi. This is Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. This is we do the podcast outside here in the annex. We'd like to invite Governor Christie to our podcast next week. We're giving out free food to the people of Trenton. We're giving clothing, and we're it's being donated from Burrini's Market, one of the governor's favorite places to eat. So I think he'd want to be. He might be interested in that.
Okay, hold for 1 second, please.
Sure, thank you. That wasn't the governor's person.
Governor's Session Office, Kelly speaking.
Hi, Kelly. This is Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. We do the State House podcast here outside in Trenton here, and we want to invite Governor Christie to our podcast next week. We are giving away food and clothing and canned goods to all the people of Trenton, and it's being done by Burrini's Market. They're donating food, and it's one of Governor Christie's favorite places to eat. And if he says he wants to come, we'll get him a chicken salad on rye if he comes.
You have to submit your request in writing for it to be considered.
Oh,
you want our email address?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
The email address is scheduling.messages@nj.gov.
Hold on, make sure I get this right. Scheduling.messages.newjersey.gov.
Messages.
Messages.newjersey.gov. Okay, great. We'll do that. Great. Thank you so much. Is this something he might be interested in? Is he free next week?
You're welcome.
Is he free?
Oh, hello? Your phone is breaking up.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I'll send you the email. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. Pulling teeth here. All right. Well, we tried. I mean, Governor Christie is a lame duck now, so he really it shouldn't matter if he sits at our table or not. Hey, what's up, Rich? How are you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you in ages. Yeah. How you been, man? Good, how are you? Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Did they put a smoking area here for everybody?
Yeah, grab a mic. What do you want, a smoking area? What? Why? You want to smoke weed?
Oh, no, never. No, never.
We have our smoking areas right over yonder.
Don't do that.
Right where that shadow is. You see where the shadow ends? That's our demarcation line right there.
All right, cool.
You can smoke cannabis right there because you're a patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got your card. You got your jar.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, I was at Cranberry, a couple weeks ago. I literally walked out the door, and I dropped the bag with the jar in it. I almost broke the freaking jar.
See, I'm not the only one. I am not the only one this happens to.
Yeah. Well, I don't even have, issues. I just happened to drop it. It just slipped out of my hand because my hands were full because I was putting my card back in my wallet, because they take your card there. So
yes,
I was just slipping it back in my wallet, and it slipped out of my hands, and
it happens. Wow.
Yeah. Luckily, the jar was still in the bag, but I mean...
Luckily, no cops were around to see you do that and say, hey...
Unlike you.
Oh, man.
Unlike you.
Hey, I was found not guilty. Or whatever. No charge.
After how many times?
6 times, 4 different prosecutors, a bunch of stress, and yeah. And then I got yelled at the end.
He's recording you.
How does it feel, Lefty?
Are you recording me? I don't approve of this.
No.
I want to burn you.
Burn.
Burn. I can't believe he assaulted me.
Yeah, I saw that. That was, wow. The nerve.
The nerve of him in a courtroom where he works.
Yeah, he should know better.
His place of business where he's supposed to be professional.
Tough day.
No. I was more professional than him. Lefty Grimes was more professional than Hayburn in court.
Imagine that.
Oh, that's great.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing.
Why didn't they arrest him? Seriously.
Yeah, he should have been arrested right there on the spot.
Right there.
Yep. Tackled, tased, all that.
The whole 9.
Hogtied.
Dragged out on his belly.
Do what they do to black people in Trenton.
Of course. No remorse.
Well,
no remorse.
That's your answer right there.
Yeah.
So I've seen this video on Facebook that kind of tickled my fancy a little bit. It was this lady smoking a cigarette in a football stadium, and the cop comes over and he's like, "Yo, you got to put the cigarette out, man." And she's like maybe in her 60s, 70s, and she tries to hand the cop the cigarette, and he's like, "All right, that's enough." Yanks her out of the chair, tries to arrest her. Everybody's like, "Oh my God!" Yeah. I'm like, "Well, that's regular shit. Get used to it. That's regular shit." White lady too. So that's why it tickled me. Oh, now you feel You know what I'm saying? Like, now you feel what we feel.
Wow.
Or a small portion of that.
What was she trying to do? Give the cigarette back to the cop?
Give the cigarette to the cop.
Why?
Like, I don't know.
That was kind of dumb. Maybe was she drunk?
No, I don't think so. Not in a football stadium. I hope not. That's a bad look.
Maybe she had a concussion.
You're too old to be getting drunk in broad daylight. The sun is still up. What's up with you?
The sun is still up.
At least wait for the sun to drop out the sky before you get drunk. That's crazy.
Wow. Damn. Well, you know, it was nice running into you the other day.
Oh, yeah. Lefty pulled up on me at work. I'm at work minding my business. I recognized the Denise pulled up. I said, Lefty!
I was like, what are you doing here?
I work here.
Oh,
what
cool.
are you doing
what
here?
Are you doing?
Yeah. Like,
I'm
why?
hungry. I came to get food, too. But
yeah, those prices are crazy.
I didn't know that.
I don't even buy food from there.
Shit.
Do we know when Ed's going to get out of jail?
Never.
I mean, come on. What the hell?
Who do we call? Want to call a prosecutor?
Sure, let's dial a prosecutor.
Let's make some calls today.
Let's dial.
Mercer County prosecutor.
Let's dial a prosecutor.
Yeah, let's do that. Mercer.
Oh, people can't hear me.
I mean, like, how longer can they possibly keep him? Like,
I left. Turn my mic off.
They can keep him in for 180 days. 120 days. 4 more months they can keep him. Legally. Yeah, it's sad what they do to people in Trenton. It's crazy because Ed Fortune was doing a lot for this town.
Yeah. He was changing things around.
He's making things better, and they want status quo. They want misery and crack because it keeps them in business.
Right.
All right, Mercer County Prosecutor's Office. What should we say? You guys do the talking because I'm going to be mad if I talk. I'm done. But be nice. Be respectful. We don't know when Ed's getting out because they let cops with child porn are out. Really?
Yeah, that guy from Great Adventure. He was in jail for less than a week, and he was caught with a bunch of crap, child porn included.
Shit. We working?
Prosecutor's office.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. Can I speak to Stephanie Katz's office, please?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you speak to who?
Can I speak to Stephanie Katz, please?
Okay, and your name, sir?
This is Lefty Grimes.
I cannot hear you. What is your name?
Lefty Grimes.
Mr. Grimes?
Yes.
Okay, and this is in regards to...
Edward Fortune's case.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Hold on, please.
Thank you. Oh no, this music again. When's Ed getting out of jail? When's Ed getting out of jail? Wanna know. When's he getting out of jail? When's he getting out of jail? Why is he in there in the first place? What do you think? Can we do something with this? Let's get him out of jail. Remix. Stephanie Katz. I hope we get her voicemail. That would be awesome.
Hello, you've reached Stephanie Katz at the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office. I'm unable to answer your call right now. Please leave a message,
Oh, this is
and I'll
great.
call you back as soon as possible.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Yes, hi, Stephanie Katz. This is Lefty Grimes. I'd like to interview you about Edward Fortune's case. My number is 908-616-0682. And I'd just like to know what your feelings are about his case. I know you can't talk about too much about it because you're still going to prosecute him, I believe. And I'd like to know if he's going to be getting out of jail anytime soon. Do you have any problems with him getting out for Thanksgiving and for Christmas to see his family? Is that something that you would consider? We'd like to know. So can you please call me back? My number is 908-616-0682, and my name is Lefty Grimes. And we spoke once in court, and you said to schedule an interview with your department. So I'm trying to schedule an interview with you. And I am an award-winning journalist, so And I'll be nice. I'll be, I want to know what your side of the story is, because I hear Ed's side, and I hear the side of a lot of other people. I want to hear your side of the story, why you do this, and maybe some history on you. Okay, thank you very much. And again, 908-616-0682. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's Stephanie Katz. I left a message for her. I think we're still recording, but that's all right. That's what I do. But yeah, so she's prosecuting Ed Fortune. They're going to continue to prosecute him, and I think it's a waste of money. I just saw the other day it costs $200,000 to keep an inmate in prison. Was that right, Ken? $200,000 to keep someone in prison? Come over here if you want. It's. I think they just came out with a new. Oh, it was New York. It was Rikers Island. That's what it was. Rikers Island. $200,000 a year, Ken. That's crazy. I'm sorry, mic's off.
It's all right. It's all right.
Terrible. I'm the
Yeah,
worst
I
guy
think that in New Jersey the cost is generally accepted to be about $50,000 a year to keep a person in the prison system. So it might be less than that in the counties, but in the county jail system. But in the state prison system, they have a very good prison system here in New Jersey. It's they have just exquisite security and control and training and the best equipment. So those things are, we have a very good prison system, but we pay for it, and we pay for it. The taxpayer pays for it by spending about $50,000 a year to keep an inmate in jail.
I thought it was more. Rikers Island just came out, and it's a lot more in Rikers, and I don't know why.
It could be more in Rikers Island. Islands are a little more expensive too, because one of the reasons they closed Alcatraz Island was, it's just, you had to take a ferry over there every time you wanted to get over there. So, it was difficult getting there and getting back and whatnot. And it may be, and certainly, New York may be more expensive. I doubt that it's as high as. Did you say $200,000?
Yeah, it was over $200,000.
Yeah, I can't believe that for a single inmate in a
I'll
year.
Google it right now. But hold on, we got a call that just came in. It's Jenny Storms. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Hey.
How you doing?
Doing okay. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. How's Jack doing? Uh-oh, did I lose you?
Looks like,
are you on speakerphone? Can you take us off speaker?
I can't because I'm driving.
Okay, I'll do our best here. I just wanted to see how Jax was doing.
He's doing good.
Good. Good. Yeah, I saw pictures of you, Jenny, from the Cannabis Nurses Conference in Las Vegas recently, right?
Yes, it was awesome. It was so much fun to be in Vegas with Julie and Heather and all the other nurses.
Yeah. It looked like you had a nice time. There was a great many nurses there. It was really great to see. I just got back from a nursing convention in Montego Bay, Jamaica, where about 30 nurses got CEUs for learning about marijuana in Jamaica. It was great.
Oh wow, that sounds like much more fun than Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and we got a little free time to explore the island.
Awesome. Oh.
Well, Jenny, I called to thank.
How are you doing?
Yeah, we called to thank you because we're doing our 99th podcast today. Next week will be our 100th podcast, and we owe it all to you because you started this whole thing.
Oh.
It's your fault that we're here.
It is. Actually, it's Governor Christie's fault for being such a stubborn SOB.
Yeah, he was hurtful.
Yeah, that's.
If he actually had compassion, I wouldn't have started the protest, and I wouldn't have started hanging out every Thursday at the State House.
It was a great plan, and it really worked. It really did a lot.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad it did, and I wish we could have stayed, but we couldn't.
Yeah, we definitely miss you here, Jenny. We miss your activism. We miss your commitment, and your knowledge, and just everything about you. We miss you personally, you and Jackson, and we miss you.
Oh, thank you.
So.
We'll be back in January, and I think that's when Governor Christie's not going to be in office anymore.
Yay! We're so happy about that.
Thank goodness.
Yes. 61 days we have left.
Yeah, we got a countdown going.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just called to say hi, but yeah, see how you
saw
doing.
that.
Yeah. So I'm glad Jax is doing better. He didn't.
Awesome.
Yeah, I saw his seizure the other day, and just that poor kid.
Yeah, he's doing really amazing. He really is. His skills, his independence, everything's increasing. He's doing great. And I owe that to cannabis.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
Awesome,
Good to
Jenny.
hear.
Well, thanks, Jenny. I won't hold you anymore, but we'll probably give you a call next week, too, for our last final podcast. Just warning you now.
Okay. Now, isn't that Thanksgiving Day?
Yes, it is.
So are you having a baked turkey?
Yes, we're giving away turkey dinners, clothing, food, gift cards. You name it.
Yay, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a very helpful day for the people of Trenton.
Yes,
So
definitely.
thank you, guys. Thank you,
Okay.
Jenny. Thanks
Well,
for starting this.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Okay, bye, Jenny.
Jenny Storms.
Yeah, what a great nurse.
Yeah, good stuff, man. That Jax, he's a trooper, that kid.
Mhm.
All right. Any news, Ken, this week?
Well, I've been out of town all week.
Where were you?
Montego Bay, mostly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, for a conference. Nurses were able to get continuing education credits for learning about marijuana in Jamaica, and the nurses were very excited to be there, and we had a great time. There were a number of presentations. I gave 4 presentations on New Jersey's bill, state and federal laws, introduction to the endocannabinoid system, and bioethical concerns for healthcare professionals. What do nurses do when the best medicine for their patient is an illegal substance? So we talked about that, and it was a very, very good, very good conference. Very, very glad to see it. Stayed at a 5-star, all-inclusive resort, Iberostar, in Iberostar, right on the beach in Montego Bay.
Did you see the medical cannabis there?
Well, no. There's always been a lot of cannabis in
Oh, yeah, we know.
Jamaica.
Medical, though, the medical.
No, I didn't see the medical. What people came up with, marijuana they got off the beach or whatever.
Right, the sativa,
It,
the big-
right.
yeah,
It's decriminalized, but the quality is not nearly what the quality is here in New
No.
Jersey, at least not from the street dealers. Decriminalized marijuana is, it doesn't legalize the production and distribution of marijuana. The state or the government doesn't benefit from it. There's no packaging requirements. You don't know really what type of marijuana it is. You don't know the cannabinoid content. So it's a pig in a poke, really. You won't get arrested if you have less than 55 grams, almost 2 ounces. But on the other hand, there still need to be a lot of improvements in the drug laws in various countries and in Jamaica particularly.
Interesting. Are there a lot of patients in Jamaica?
Well, there's a lot of patients everywhere. The patients can benefit from it, all over the world. So sure, there's a lot of patients in Jamaica. Chronic pain, asthma, multiple sclerosis. So many conditions that marijuana can help, and that's one of the things we talked about, the endocannabinoid system. How the discovery of these receptors in every organ of the human body really legitimize the science of medical marijuana and go a long way towards explaining why marijuana is so effective for such a wide range of diseases, symptoms, and conditions.
Now, the endocannabinoid system, it's proteins that bind to your cells. Is that what that really is?
Well, the proteins are in the cells. These are, G protein coupled receptors. That's what they discovered. This whole system is in the, what do they call it? The outside of the cells, the membrane of the cells.
Okay.
And so this is where the receptors are. They mostly in the brain and nervous system, but also throughout the entire body. And a whole separate set of receptors are in the immune system. So, they really help, strengthen the immune system and help your body fight off diseases and other conditions and try to restore homeostasis to the body. But our own body makes these compounds that are identical to the compounds in marijuana. the cannabinoids. So that's that's an amazing discovery. They think that the runner's high, what they attributed to endorphins, really is a cannabinoid that your body makes called anandamide, meaning bliss.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Anandamide.
Anandamide.
Anandamide. Yeah, that's one of the
Wow.
that's one of the two main endocannabinoids that have been identified. The other one is 2-arachidonyl glycerol, or just 2-AG.
Okay.
So these are some of the it's a science that is probably in its adolescence. It's certainly beyond its infancy. It's been around for about 25 years since the discovery of these receptors, but it's certainly not mature. The more we learn about it, the more we learn how much we don't know. It used to be thought that there are only 60 cannabinoids in the marijuana plant. Now they've discovered that there's as many as 100 or more. So it's
amazing.
There may very well be other receptors that we just have not identified yet, besides the two, the CB1 and the CB2 receptors that I mentioned earlier. So it's a very exciting science. I tell young people who are involved in bioscience and medicine that they should really hook their stars to the endocannabinoid system, because they're going to find out that the therapeutic implications of this endocannabinoid system are limitless right now, really. Dr. Jehan Marcoux, one of the leading researchers, said that he believes the future of medicine heavily really depends on understanding this endocannabinoid system.
Yeah, big time. It seems to help so many conditions because it's all over your body, the system, and it helps
from
so many
everything
things.
from anxiety to glaucoma to seizures to chronic pain to bowel conditions to psoriasis, skin conditions, just absolutely everything. It has at least the potential for helping people with.
I'm so glad they approved it for migraines, because I have a family member with migraines, and there's such a stigma against this for her.
Mhm.
And the problem is, at one time she had a gummy, and she ate a gummy, and it was too much. And
Right.
it was just like, now she's totally against it because she
Right.
had a really bad experience
Right.
because her first time was with a gummy.
Mhm.
Your first time should not be with an edible, I don't think. I don't think,
Yeah,
I
right,
really,
right.
I don't
Right.
think so.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You should start in small
Yeah,
dosages.
tincture maybe, or something,
Right,
but not an
something.
edible. This
Right.
person will never take it now because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
One bad experience is
yeah, that's it. That's it.
But if the alternative is suffering with a migraine that lays you up all day,
Right.
sometimes you get desperate enough to give it another look.
That's what happened. It was desperation. And,
Yeah.
And then.
Because if not, then you're stuck on the medicines, like Advil, ibuprofens, and Bayers, and all that, and then you get that's a gateway drug, in my opinion, because you can get that over the counter and then these prescriptions.
Well, acetaminophen, the leading ingredient in Tylenol and in a lot of other drugs, is the leading cause of liver failure in the United States. So, just because something is over the counter doesn't mean it's safer and better for you. And definitely, the rule is to start low and go slow with edibles, average dose 10 milligrams of THC if dosing is a regulation for marijuana. It is an important consideration to avoid the kind of problems your friend or relative had with migraines, Lefty.
I said, "Oh, quit it! You're making stuff up. Nothing has been proven." Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? And then she says, when I tell the cops about the endocannabinoid system, they laugh and say it was made up by private farmers to push the drug.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate that
stigma.
The reality is that the pharmaceutical industry is very interested in this endocannabinoid system, and they're manipulating the endocannabinoid system to produce synthetic pharmaceutical drugs, that will either block the receptors or turn on the receptors. So, Marinol is an example of one of the synthetic, a synthetic THC, a synthetic cannabinoid that was produced by the pharmaceutical industry, and Ramonabant was an example of a pharmaceutical drug that was designed to block some of the receptors. It was originally designed to stop the munchies and be a diet drug. by blocking these endocannabinoid receptors. So, you know, I mean, people are just really showing their ignorance when they deny the existence of the endocannabinoid system and the science behind it, because there's no denying the science. It's very real. It's you know, as I said, it's been around for 25 years, and the pharmaceutical industry believes it, and science itself believes it.
Oh, look at this! Hey, it's our campaign winner. Here we go. This is great. Mike Alonso, you're on the air.
Hi, how you doing, Lefty?
Hey, Mike Alonso, congratulations on your win. You won the election. You're on the school board in Bayonne. Congratulations. Our cannabis candidate has won.
Oh, thank you so much. We got a lot of work to do.
I'm here with Ken Wolski. I mean, you got to get down here with Ken Wolski and have an interview with him, man.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we got a lot of work to do. We got to educate a lot of people, and I'm not just talking about the kids. I'm talking about all the employees. They seem to know nothing about the MMP program.
Wow. What happened to you the other day? A cop took your card and he took a photo of your card?
Oh, my card. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was crazy. All right. You know, I had a police officer ask me for my card, right? He wanted to make sure I was legitimate. So, of course, I had no problem presenting it. But then, a sudden turn of events. He, you know, winks and, you know, blows his whistle at the sergeant. The sergeant comes over. And all of a sudden, they take out their personal cell phone and they can take a photo of my card. And as far as I know, you're not supposed to copy the card, right? No police department or police officer should take a photo or a copy of the card.
Ken, what do you think? Is that legal?
I'm not sure about that. I'm just not certain.
Okay.
You know, you're not supposed to publicize the number, you know, on it.
Okay.
Because that could lead to other people pretending they were you. And there, you know, there's legitimate reasons for not taking photos of the card. Whether or not a policeman can do it, I really don't know about that, Mike. I'd have to. I don't know. I'd have to check the regulations more closely.
Because I'll tell you, it didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he took out his personal cell phone and took a photo of it, I really felt like my my privacy was being invaded.
Yeah, that's a good consideration, you know, especially if it's on a private cell phone, you know, that you don't know what's going to happen with that. So, you know, that certainly is a consideration, and I would look into that and you know, make sure that gets deleted from the cell phones, the personal cell phones of these police officers.
Well, here's the problem, Ken. Wasn't there a flyer? There was a flyer put out with your card on it.
And somehow, 3 days after this happened, there was a flyer passed around my neighborhood that said I was on drugs, and is this who we want in our school system? And there was a copy of my MMP card. And that officer was the only one since I had it that's ever taken a photo or a copy of it.
Wow.
So he already distributed it, right? So now it's about proving it. But
now it's political.
we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
Yeah, that sounds like a lawsuit, Mike. You know, ooh, that sounds terrible.
That's rough.
Especially with, you know, violating your
and if you go over,
violating your HIPAA
Lefty
rights.
made a video.
Yeah, you want to see?
Look at the video that Lefty made of that night.
Oh,
I think
man.
the officer even said to Lefty, "I know what you guys are up to." So I'm not really sure what he meant by that, but apparently this police officer had some reservations or a prior impression or thought we were up to something. I don't know what he thought. We were just medicating.
He asked me, how much weed do you have in your house? He asked me. I'm like, what does that matter? Yeah. He's asking me weird questions.
Exactly. I mean, right? What does it matter what I have at home in my legally prescribed container?
Right. Right. Well, Mike, if you want to
I think we got to really push for more education.
Yeah, definitely.
On these police departments, and maybe it's the Attorney General or the Secretary of State, or maybe it's somebody in Trenton that's not disseminating the information properly to the captains and the chiefs.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, the Attorney General, you know, it's
because
up to him.
The funny thing is, he called it a Kuma card. He asked me if I had a Kuma card.
Yeah,
so
got
I
me
told
doing
him
it.
no.
Yeah.
I said I never heard of a Kuma
What is
card.
that?
What's that?
What is that?
And so he was ready to arrest me, and then I said, "Well, I have a medical." But it was interesting that this guy, my own, thank God, you know.
Right.
And he said, "Well, you got to have a doctor." And I said, well, a doctor's not a caregiver.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I care what doctor I go to. What does that matter?
Right.
I mean, you know, he could call the Department of Health. The number's on the back of the card. He could verify it's legitimate. He could go on the state. I don't know why he was concerned with who my medical provider is. I mean, that really seemed like, you know, that's what kind of tipped it off, too, that this guy has something going on here.
Yeah. Unless he was just confused thinking a caregiver is a physician. You know.
Right.
But Mike, if you want to tell your story on CMMNJ TV sometime, you know, we'd be happy to interview you on television and, you know, get wider exposure to this. So you can contact me at kenwolski@gmail.com, and let me know your availability, and we'll try to coordinate this, and you know, get greater exposure to this, because it certainly sounds like you know, what happened to you is an outrage. You know, especially the flyer part. That's terrible, absolutely terrible. I'm sorry that happened, Mike.
And you still won. You still won despite it, Mike. You still won the election.
Right.
Associated with it. You know, people can get uncomfortably high sometimes.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Like, yo, where's the ladder? I need to come down. Where's the down button? I got shit to do today. I've been there, but it's like, still, that's like to each his own. Like, it's not like, I mean, I've never used any other quote unquote drug besides like pharmaceuticals, but it's like 3 milligrams and it'd be a bad batch, and it'd be the last one you ever take. You know what I'm saying? I've rolled Dutches back to back to back. I'm talking about marathons, and I've never like gone into cardiac arrest. I don't understand why it's categorized as a drug. People don't steal at other people's houses for marijuana. Like, you just got people out here on drugs, like real drugs, and they're breaking in houses, taking TV chains to take the couches if they need to, you know. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy that it's still classified as a drug and it hasn't hurt anybody. I think they get more money out of arresting people for the quote-unquote drug, because there's no rehab for specifically marijuana, is there? There's no AAA for the AA for.
No, you know, over half the people who are in substance abuse treatment programs for marijuana are forced to go there by the courts.
Right.
You know, so because
it's categorized as a drug, like, but those other people actually, like alcoholics, actually need help. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. And those, because the courts have forced so many people with marijuana offenses into those beds. So
that perpetuates the cycle, and then
well, we're working on it. New Jersey did the right thing. I mean, I can't tell you how proud I was to be from New Jersey when I was in Jamaica. I was wearing my CMMNJ T-shirt. I was wearing a New Jersey hat. Yeah. I mean, I was representing down there.
Sweet. I like that.
I was happy to be, proud to be a New Jersey resident.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but I have this fullybakedradio.com, and that is all. I see you guys later. It's Ghost.
Good job. Good job.
Thanks, bro. I found the audio. This is the audio.
We both know the game you're playing. Listen to me.
How long do I have to wait? Is it
just listen to what I'm going to say. Listen to what I'm going to tell you, okay? All right. You understand you have to keep this stuff where you reside.
No, you don't. No.
Yes.
That's not
true.
Yes, you do. I know the law, sir. I've gone to 70 police stations all over New Jersey. I've been to the Attorney General's office.
Yes, it's under the Attorney General guidelines. Of course.
Yes.
Yes, I just took the sergeant's test. I actually,
it's on the lieutenant's exam.
Actually, no, it's not. Thank you for trying, but it's not.
It is on the lieutenant's exam. I talked to a lot of police about this.
They do management.
Right.
Just listen to what I'm going to try to
yes,
tell
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you don't reside there. We're going to let you go there. Okay. Whatever happens there, if you get injured or anything, that's on you. Okay. Listen to what I'm trying to advise you. I don't need you to interrupt me. Okay. You get whatever you're going to get there. Okay. If for some reason in transport whatever you have is illegal and you get popped with it, understand that you can lose your Kuma card. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you legitimately need the Kuma card in medical marijuana, that whatever is in there that's illegal, it stays in there and does not leave you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I got to tell you.
He was winking at me while he was saying that. He was winking at me. What does that mean? That was really a very strange conversation.
How did the encounter come about?
I asked him, I said, I got to go to my house, get my cannabis. He's like, you have cannabis in there? I said, yeah. I showed him my card. He's like, how much cannabis is in there? I said, that doesn't matter. I said, I need my weed.
Well, it could matter. I mean, if he asked you if you got 100 pounds of cannabis in there, I mean, obviously you're breaking the law.
Well, yeah.
If you've got 75 plants,
Yeah,
you're not covered. So, it could have been a legitimate question.
It is a legitimate question, but
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
This is Dan Brady, a Vietnam veteran, and
hi, Dan Brady.
Hello, gentlemen.
long-term marijuana activist.
And the Vietnam War.
It's been my friend since the war. Oh, here's the story. Pittman, New Jersey. I was down there for a while, and it was a dry town. And then I heard about dry counties down in the southern states. So in other words, any city or municipality or county can put in a local law that prohibits the sale of alcohol.
Or whatever they want.
Right.
Other than your rights. Yeah, they can do that.
Yes.
Is anybody here expecting any such response from the suburbs?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's Bill Caruso makes that point, that we need to be engaging people at the township and city levels. If there's going to be any kind of zoning ordinance meetings, we need to know about them in advance and be ready and make a good case. At least.
Yeah, and we're not. Nobody's forcing this on municipalities. We're making it available to municipalities. We're trying to locate the original alternative treatment centers. We ran into a host of community opposition. I mean, Upper Freehold Township, it was like they were out with pitchforks and torches. When they wanted to put an alternative treatment center there in Camden, Camden wouldn't let us put an alternative treatment center there.
Camden, right?
They said
it would have been bad for their needle image.
We don't keep bringing drugs.
We don't want you upgrading our image. Yeah, that was really.
That was a councilman's remark.
That was a quote. That was we don't want drugs coming into our community.
Right.
And then of course Maple Shade just wanted to be Maple Shade. It's a. But you can go to Ocean City and you can't get a drink because they don't allow alcohol.
Ocean Grove.
Ocean Grove. Right.
Ocean Grove is.
So and I like that. I mean, it should be that way.
Yeah, right.
I think that's fantastic. You know that when you go to Ocean City, there's a right before you get to the bridge. Get what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have to take a drive, you have to take a drive. But and it's. Maple Shade, though, just didn't want a dispensary, and they were citing overcrowding, people using their medicine and selling it in the parking lot. This was what they didn't want in their town, and it was beyond me.
Hey, did you know what happened to Summers Point? Summers Point is right across from Ocean City, and Ocean City's a dry town. Summers Point is a maze of nightclubs. Liquor store.
Go figure, right?
It is. It was a good spot to get a gig too. I played there once. Yeah.
Gotta make up for it somehow. Wow.
I saw that poster that Laura designed for next week's podcast. So that was very nice, encouraging people to donate either canned goods or
we're
money.
Giving it a good, solid effort.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be cold. It's going to be brisk, a decent wind. It's going to be
cold now.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be much colder than this.
Is it?
Yeah, we're going to be wearing the warm clothes people donate.
And I will be here, Jim.
It'll be more like modeling it,
I'm gonna make
If you like what you see, you can have anybody's jacket. We'll just put on a different one. I'm just saying it is going to be cold, but it's Thanksgiving. It's the last one. It's not a surprise that it's going to it's not uncalled for weather. It's not supposed to be precipitating, whether it be snow or rain. That's the call now, and it's not like there's a big weather disturbance just before or after that could be sped up or delayed and change things. So we got that, and state police they're on full force, so I can go get a permit without any problem on Thanksgiving.
Good.
And the last regularly scheduled, and I like the idea that You can reach who you can reach. People are going to know, or they won't. They'll come by, or they won't. But in the end, that, you know, we have our team on the ground here, basically Laura and with Jason, and knowing where to get the food so it'll be consumed by somebody that will really appreciate it. Nothing will go bad. And I like that. It's
you know, one thing about the donations, I know Lefty told me that there were some donations to CMMNJ on Facebook, but you know, I just don't know where on Facebook these donations would be. I haven't seen them. I went to our PayPal account where we get donations. We got a very nice donation last week from Magical Butter, or the week before, but not anything on Facebook. I don't see anything coming in. Where would it come? The only place I can imagine it would come would be to PayPal. Our PayPal account. So I'm just not seeing that, those particular donations.
I mean, there isn't a donation GoFundMe or anything like that going anywhere.
No, maybe we should do that too. But yeah, there was $70 going to CMMNJ on Facebook.
Yeah. Where did you see that?
It was, I put 10 in. I think Tony Liberty might have put 10 in.
Well, I like, you know, this is a really,
Daniel?
you know, in motion sort of a thing. But for last minute donations, I like what Lefty was saying. You get gift certificates at like CVS and give them out to people who are homeless, obviously. Nice. But that's also something nice to do that if somebody wanted or came by at the last minute, it's not like, what are we going to do with it? So if we have it covered with whether it be donations, dried goods, warm clothes, whatever, or food, it's not going to get wasted. It's not going to go bad. And it's going to get where it needs to go. That's kind of it, you know. It would be nice if it was like more of a weekday with people around and nicer weather and stuff. But sometimes doing nice and the right things just isn't all that easy. And it's, you know, it's what makes it even more worth doing, I think.
Anyway, Laura Carter's here, and Laura, just want to say how much we appreciate that poster you put together for advertising. Good.
Well, and our main liaison too, the people in Trenton that we're trying to reach and help on our last day here on Thanksgiving. So, Laura, can't thank you enough for that, as you know, and you've probably come to know us pretty well, and you know wouldn't get done without your help this way. So
Appreciate it.
It's like the straw stirs the drink thing, you know. I mean that sincerely too. This is what makes it easy for us, because this is not our strong suit, and you know that. But we do everything else that we can, and it's a great help to us to not have to worry about what happens if this, what happens if that. We know for the most part it's already covered to a degree. And like I was saying before, well, I can't be doing too much with my time to get this where it needs to go. I am not surprised that you already had that considered. And, you know, I think it's inappropriate.
We can't wait for this.
Yeah, this is... There's no template for this.
Well, I feel like, you know, any outreach service that we've done, you know, for homeless, you know, giveaways, we've done these before, and no matter how big or small it is, it's effective. You know, we've had it before where we've had just a couple bags of clothes, and the people that receive those are so thankful. They're not looking at it like, oh, man, I wish there was, you know.
Doesn't take a lot to make it. And the quick version was somebody, you know, got a slice of pizza and asked if I'd be offended if he took it home. And I said, yeah, I'd be offended if you took it home, didn't have something to eat, so why don't you eat that and then get a couple to go? And that was it. It was the look on his face. Like, I mean, he got to take 2 home, had a couple here, and that was what it was about. It wasn't how many people the pizza got to or anything. It was, and obviously 2 years later, I remember it with, well, pride, I think. I don't know. I'm not a real prideful person. You know, I don't do a lot of back patting when it comes to myself.
Oh,
but
here we go. I'm patting someone on the back right now. Dan, thank you, Dan. Danny is donating food.
Right.
Oh,
yay, thank you, thank you.
Nice,
Granola hemp hearts. Oh, it's
man.
How topical. That's perfect. Hemp hearts and, oh, yes, hemp and hemp milk.
Nice.
Hemp milk.
No, excellent.
We got hemp milk. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dan Corvino. Awesome. Yes.
Don't look at me like that's not going to make it out of here. It'll be there on Thanksgiving.
Cool.
Yeah.
I also have a bag of scarves and gloves and hats that Amy Cohen Roth had donated. She
That's
brought
good.
last
That's
week.
good.
So yeah.
And I've let some people know, and especially at the house I'm at, that there are things that, if they haven't been used in the last year or so, they're not in jeopardy of being used or missed this year. And it's, nice stuff, not what I'm wearing. I have actually have an extra overcoat. It's a nice, if somebody needed to be somewhere, it's a little longer.
That's a good idea. It's always a good idea to downsize, get rid of things you're not using. Why accumulate stuff that you don't want or you're not using and somebody else would love to have? It could really improve their life.
Make a big difference. That's that whole Thanksgiving. I do like to be thankful for things, and I like taking part at that level. Like spreading it out a little bit if I can. I don't know. It's my insurance policy. I don't want to feel like I want to feel like I deserve some good luck someday too, though. So,
what goes around comes around.
Yeah. Hey, it's my insurance policy. But it is, and I'm really happy that if this was the 100th podcast, we wouldn't be doing one next week. The reason we're doing it was to get to the 100 mark, and I'm finding like that so sums us up, doesn't it? It's not like, man, you guys are awesome. No, we just wanted to pad it by one to get to 100.
Padding our numbers.
Turns out it's good for people.
And it's helping. Okay, it's helpful.
All right. But it's nice to turn it around to not just a celebration of for us, which I fess up to it originally. I like the idea we'll show up, we'll break bread together on Thanksgiving. It wasn't originally about that. I think it took people with better vision than me to see that this is an opportunity on Thanksgiving if you're going to be here. And we've done it before where we'd share food on pizza, but this is so.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Works out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah, it's a fitting way to have the last podcast after 3 years, and the coalition hung in with us.
I want to thank the Coalition for Medical Marijuana, cmmnj.org, for sponsoring our podcast. Thank you.
Partially sponsoring.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. Well, but our prime sponsor, and our prime sponsor, the one that, quite frankly, gives us the credibility to have the Coalition sign up here, does us good. We benefit from that. I'm pretty good with this. It's not going to blow away, but we were just talking about it. It's making a big struggle on the 99th podcast. It's sort of like, I don't like foreshadowing. It's sort of like,
bend it but don't break.
Don't come back with the tent next week.
We may not. We'll be out in the sun next week, I think.
I
there.
hope so. But the sun's also,
right over there.
It's going on out there, so
I like that spot.
We may have a moving out with the sun.
SativaCross.com, MagicalButter.com, Happy Daddy Products, NewJerseyWeedman.com, DavidVersusAutism.org, DavidVersusAutism.org, Blue Planet Biotech, Run New Jersey, Medical-Freedom.com, New Jersey Grannies for Grass, Tuffy's Fight, Legalize for Lorelei, JacksonStorms.com, Prayers for Sarah, Prayers for Pete, Jenny's Purple Ribbon Journey, Jenny's Journey, Women's Veterans Collective, we're still doing that, and Weed for Warriors.
It's the 99th podcast. We might as well.
We're gonna do it. We're doing it all.
We would have had it down. We came close. We almost,
Honeybee, are you with us? I see you're on the line. I haven't even heard from you in a while. Honeybee?
It's quiet in that field of cannabis that she just lounges in all day long.
In a field of pot.
I'm here.
Okay, just checking.
Hi.
Oh, Honeybee.
Joanne.
Honeybee, I will call you back in a minute. Sorry, call you right back.
Okay.
Wow. Hello, you're on the air with Sativa Cross. Oh my God, it's very windy here.
Hello. Oh yeah, I could tell.
Hi, Joanne Zito. How's it going there? Are you with?
Hey,
where are you?
I just left the college, the Bergen Community College. The panel discussion with Kevin Sabet spoke, but he wasn't part of the panel. And I did get to meet him, and he said he's looking forward to
possibly talking to the coalition about his decriminalization efforts. He didn't necessarily use the word decriminalization, but
Really?
yeah.
It's like I just stepped through a portal. The wind blew it. I stood up and I sat down, and now we're talking about Kevin Sabet wants to hang with CMMJ on this.
Wow.
Yeah.
He has been advocating for decriminalization, but he says that's an alternative, but he never does anything about it.
Ken, you do realize when Joanne or I say CMMJ, we mean you.
Right, we all looked at you when she said that. We all looked, okay, Ken, you're up.
Just so you know, you're speaking now as if you're not aware of that.
Legalization.
Oh, you're throwing me to Kevin Sabet, huh?
Yeah. No, actually, we do. In all honesty, we do it because you are the best we got, and you always dress snappy. You're old. People you're trustworthy.
Yeah, you are trustworthy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for all the right reasons. I'm thinking this is a great opportunity, and Joanne, boy, I'm so glad you were able to do this because
thank you.
That's great, Joanne.
Good job.
I had a cough that was keeping me from doing it, but here it doesn't keep me from podcasting. I just cough.
Yeah, I did get some really good points out. I did get some really good points out. I don't think that they thought I was going to say some of the things that I said.
Good for you.
Criminalization, but they were trying to have an honest discussion about. And actually, the premise of the talk was not about the opioid crisis. It was about legalizing marijuana in New Jersey. So I was kind of thrown off when I got there. But that was a big concern. The opioid crisis was a big concern as part of this. And I was the only one up there sharing that information.
I want to make sure I got this straight. Again, like I stepped through a portal. You're saying that Kevin Sabet and the Bergen County Alcohol and Drug Abuse, the county organization, that they were there to discuss marijuana in the aspect of pending legislation and stuff, and they weren't there to specifically be talking about the opioid crisis, yet the Coalition for Medical Marijuana came in with the opioid crisis, this is where it's at right now, this is so important. So you were more going to be about the opioid crisis, and they were more about legalizing marijuana and what's going to be going on. It's like reversal, bizarro world. What's going on? And we're going from Christie to Murphy. Holy smokes. Literally, everybody, it's mental whiplash. It's not physical. But there is a mental whiplash effect going on. Yeah, an activist whiplash alert, because you find yourself with your finger up in the air ready to make a point, and they say, would you like a seat at the table? Yeah, it's 8 years that's been the point. It's forgot. And so the whole thing that the chief of staff of the governor is somebody who was just 3 days ago heading a cannabis business association organization, and that is now the chief of staff. Yeah, I think things are going to move at a pretty good speed, all indications.
Joanne, was there a video recording of this conference by any chance?
Well, what it was is the college has been doing an addiction series, and they invited Kevin. I guess part of the series is sometimes they invite authors, which he has a book that he put out, I think it was maybe 4 years ago, called The Myths of Marijuana. And you could find the speech online. It's the same speech he's been giving for the last 4 years. Warning against, marijuana becoming like a big big marijuana industry. And he spoke for about an hour, and then they opened the panel to, more Bergen County local information. There was a panelist from Addiction Services. There was they had a young person that was on drug court and in rehabilitation for marijuana use that led to that. She says that led to other drug use. There was the I don't know if it's the Bergen County or if it's the state, but it's the police chief, the head of the police chief association. He was there, and he was pretty adamant about saying that people do not go to jail for under 50 grams possession, and that they don't have to, that although they do have to arrest them and bring them in, they don't stay in jail. And I was telling him that my second offense, I did go to jail. So, and there was another panelist, a mother whose son was a medical patient, and he got very high THC medical cannabis. I don't think it was from New Jersey, but he died from a heart arrhythmia. And she wants to let people know that it is possible for people to die from complications of cannabis use. And I basically shared the information about the wanting to expand the medical program, and also as a way to ease the opioid crisis. I had some statistics that recently came out showing that overall prescription drug use is down in places where there's medical marijuana, and opioid deaths are down in places where it's legalized. So everybody was pretty happy with the overall discussion and thought it was very informative.
Well, that's good. It should be happening more often. This is just a one county organization. So I'm glad it went well, because basically, we could present ourselves as being a viable addition to whatever it is they're doing, and say, ask Stephanie Hartman at Bergen County office, and it goes to credibility for us, and we are credible. But it's nice when we can point to something like that. So I told you were gonna do great. That's awesome.
Yeah. It sounds like you really represented quite well, Joanne. You very, very proud of what you did.
Yeah, there was a lot of people shaking their head yes. There was a lot of people shaking their head yes to what I was saying. There was some people that shared our sentiments, and some that were still confused, but at least they were given the information, and that was really the point, I think, of everybody's discussion, was that they do have to do their own research, and don't just go with what you hear.
Well, that's what I was when we were talking last night, that if you can at least put that in their head that it's there. I know you have computers, I know you know how to do research, we both agree this is very important. This is what I would do if I were them. I would start doing my research based on your representation. But along the way, they will start to see things that you didn't even bring up, because it was limited.
Yeah, well, she did say the video. They did. Yeah, they videotaped it, and they said that Stephanie said she'll let you know when it's available.
Oh, great.
But it should be on the college's website, she said.
That's Bergen County, Bergen County Community College. That was, Joanne?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, and what organization was it? Was it the county?
Bergen County Drug and Alcohol Council of whatever. Start out with that, and you'll get to them.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a county it's a county organization.
Yeah, I believe they're associated with the Bergen County Alliance for Drug Prevention or Addiction Prevention.
Right, and the Middlesex County invited us up. I was one of the speakers on a panel, a couple of years ago now, and I was very surprised and pleased to hear that they were listening to us. They had Mike Chizuko from New Jersey Normal, and they had Ari Rosmarin from the ACLU, we were on the, marijuana plus side or supportive side. But, they are willing to listen now about what we have to say, which is more than they ever did in the past, so that's a good thing. Were you actually on the panel, or were you just an audience member speaking up, Joanne?
Oh, no, it was a 5-person panel, and I was up there. I answered some questions.
Oh, that's terrific. That's terrific. Yeah.
She was a panel member.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
and they were just happy to have. They want all information.
Right. Right. As well they
to
should.
Make a decision.
Right. You want to make an informed decision about and the best way is to hear from all sides. That's great, Joanne. You did a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Sometimes things work out
it's
the way
right
they should.
It's right in my neck of the woods, so.
Well, that I think that was a huge plus. Is you're local to them as well.
Oh yeah. I've been in Bergen County most of my life.
No, it's a good thing it was on a Thursday, because otherwise it would have been me, and I would have been far less impressive. I mean that.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to know where your strong suits are, and that's why we're such a great organization. We have people who are certainly better than me in so many areas that it's not me. When it is, I'm there. But, this time it was...
Hungering, a little bit of humor peppered in there.
He's good.
Right. Well, that's what they use. Partial truths, half truths. And then they, use that to their advantage, and come up with something false.
Misdirection, anyway. Look, smoke,
but that,
mirrors, shiny things.
A lot of what he was fear mongering on, the argument could be made on the other side.
That's why it's nice to be able to start getting seats at that table too. This is all going fast in the positive direction now.
Heck of a November.
Well,
oh man.
He's looking forward to talking to you guys.
Oh, great. We're always welcome to.
And by you guys, we all know who you mean.
Coming to one of our meetings.
you guy.
Well, thanks, Joanne. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Joanne.
And thanks for painting our wheelchair psychedelically for Bayonne.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a work in progress for a little bit, I think.
Thanks. All right, I'll catch you later.
All right,
Bye.
thanks, guys.
Joanne Zito, ladies and gentlemen. She's awesome.
I felt so bad. All her wonderful artwork at the Weedman's joint was gone on from the windows.
Yeah. I'm adding one more. Arlo's Glass is our sponsor. It's Tony's company. And Aerial Photography. Aerial Photography.
I got to get out of here. So
you always leave before the list.
Will you be able to stop by next week?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
In the morning, I'm good. I can't stay very long, but I can come by in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'll be here at a good time. I'll be here before 9. I'll get the farm right at 9 o'clock, and then we'll just it's definitely.
I have a question. Did you guys talk about this Saturday's event is Green Saturday in Trenton?
Oh,
do you guys know about that? That's the New Jersey Cannabis Commission. They're having cannabis education on Saturday from 11 to 2. Tickets are $25. You can find that online. It's in Eventbrite.
Nice.
Again, I think I'm on a panel.
Which state again?
This is Trenton. It's in Trenton. This is the.
I mean, but this is on
Saturday.
This is Saturday. This Saturday, yeah, the 18th.
Studio B on South Street.
Correct. It's right by the
arena there.
Exactly. Yeah.
We should have. Official. Somebody from CMMJ should attend.
Yeah, $25 admission.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean. Or are we waiting for somebody on the phone?
Honeybee, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Honeybee.
Hello. Hello.
Uh-oh.
So we're at that point where we talk about Cheryl.
I gotta go.
Did you find the audio that we need?
No, I looked. I did get in the. I am going back. It's not that easy getting around in the attic where things are. I got what I thought it would be, but then my better 2/3 advised me that it might be in one of, and she would know which box it is. So
Okay.
I'll have to do that again.
I'll keep reminding you.
No, I really want. I mean, I want to have it too. I mean, I don't want it to be on forever. It's a reminder that it should be around.
I got good audio. I got some good stuff to play, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be a sad show next week. Starting
Well,
off.
Yeah,
starting.
Well, it is, and that's good because, and we can interject reality, sadness wherever we need.
It's
but
real.
it's
Real. It's real stuff,
Well,
man.
okay, it's Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving and all things are relative. If I'm giving thanks, it's relative to, it's like complained about my shoes till I met a mountain, no feet sort of thing. And Trenton keeps you honest sometimes,
sure does.
That guy come up with the, look at the bullet wounds I have.
Yeah, look at the holes in my body.
Yeah, fresh. I mean, it's like somebody says, I was just in the hospital. What for? I got shot. Look, you want to see?
Yeah, look.
I mean, that keeps you honest, doesn't it?
Still got blood on the bandages. Look at that.
Yeah, man. So, Trenton just has that natural effect. But, we're in a pretty whitewashed part of Trenton right now, so we don't see a lot of it,
Thank you, Danny. Dan Corvino, thank you for the
leaving
dry
us,
goods.
Yes, that was
dry and wet goods. Thank you.
Dan, you going to be back next week, or are you going to be here?
He's not going to make it. That's why he's dropping off. Yeah, so
okay.
We'll see you soon, though.
Hey, you could watch us for a podcast.
Yeah, be one of our viewers. We'll shout you out.
Well, he's such a regular
Hey, Eric.
attendee
Buddy.
as well now.
Happy last pre-Thanksgiving
Yes.
podcast.
Yes, thank
last
you.
one I can probably make, unfortunately,
Oh, okay.
because
Okay.
I have family.
Yep.
Thanksgiving.
Well, like we were saying, next week we just started out being just like, let's get a 100th podcast, and it is Thanksgiving, and we'll show off. We'll just mail it in and all, but like I said,
Nope.
people with better field vision than me. Well, you had a lot to do with that too. Although with the giveaway, it just turned into collect some stuff.
It's the right thing to do.
And it's not the amount. And it's not like, look, is it a truckload or a trunk load? It's going to get to the right people. And what Laura was saying is so true. It just needs one moment for me to always remember it. Somebody that doesn't see it coming. So we'll talk about that, and we'll have it halfway figured out by next week, and we'll figure out the rest as we're setting up. But with Laura's guidance, especially knowing here we can go down here, and if it's gift cards or something for CVS, was it?
Yeah,
Or
Rite
something?
Aid, right down the
Rite Aid.
street here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With any overage, if somebody wanted to help, we can say between now and then, anybody that comes by in the morning,
Yeah, go get a gift card.
in the morning, that if it wants to drop off a cash donation, what we're doing with that is going to go and then explain that.
Yeah.
So that we can say that during the week, Facebook stuff between now and then, or if anybody wants to PayPal it to CNN&J, whatever it is, that's where the overage is going to go. That's brilliant, man.
That's a good idea.
That really is brilliant.
We got this.
Yeah.
So
They put up with us good. They put up. You realize nobody complained.
No.
No Trentonians complained about the loud music, people smoking pot right on the roadway everywhere, and like
I could have seen a lot of people
I don't
complain.
believe we had any complaints.
No.
Or our friends at the state police just go, yeah, we'll take care of that, and laughed and hung up.
We blocked the sidewalk twice.
Oh,
Blocking. We
yeah,
had too many
yeah.
patients. Too
Yeah.
many people smoking at once.
Blocked it, right. Somebody had to walk out into the road one time because there was too many patients.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we had too many people that were sick.
And the consequence was we were asked to make sure they had a way through. That was it. And
Kind of reasonable, though.
yeah, it was
It's reasonable.
totally.
Yeah, it was
totally.
good.
Well, I think they worked with us fantastic. So
Yeah.
in between here and
It was
there,
great.
and then
Yes,
we do.
Yeah.
We sure
You
do,
know.
man.
Some don't screw it up between
Yeah.
now and then.
It's a great November.
Oh, it has been amazing.
Yeah.
The chief of staff appointment, just when I thought it couldn't get better.
Yeah.
That a cannabis business person is a chief of staff of the governor who wants
I did
this.
not know that.
You
That's
didn't know that?
awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
good
well,
stuff.
I
That's
never
great.
get tired of running through it. His name is
I'm-
Peter Camerado, something like
Camerano.
Camerano. He used to be Bill Cody, Governor Cody. Bill,
That's shocking
Dick.
to me.
Cody.
Yeah, Governor
his,
Governor Dick.
Governor Cody. Yeah, he used to be his chief staff. He's a lawyer. He's a mover, man. The guy is. I don't know if he shakes, but he's a mover. And he was the head of the Cannabis Business Association. Is that what it was called?
Yes.
And he got lured away from that position
to be the
chief of staff, which is the guy that sets the tone for what gets done. He's like
the General Kelly of New Jersey, right?
He is basically, I think, the second most powerful man in governance in New Jersey. And we've been fighting for a seat at the table. We bring our own table. We put a Christie placemat on it and all.
Yeah,
we do all that stuff.
That was great.
Now it's going to be like, yes, come right this way, please, have a seat. We're going to have representation. It's not like Lefty and me are going to be going to their soirees and stuff, but I do believe somebody like Ken will be able to represent us fairly and squarely to the people who need to know where we are, and they will actually give a crap what we think. It's all new. It's like starting over.
Well, we're entering a new era.
Yeah, 61 days.
A new era.
61 days. I will come and hold up a sign. Goodbye. Daniel Brady leaving the house.
Thank you, Danny.
Come back on Thanksgiving, Dan.
I know somebody who's not coming back. That's Sabina Rose.
Oh, man.
She will not be coming back. She died waiting for her cannabis card. She was 2 weeks away from getting her cannabis card, and she's dead now. 15-month-old baby dead. Happy Thanksgiving.
That's 2013 or 12. It's been it's been a while now. She would have been going to kindergarten or first grade by now or something. Yeah.
Oh boy, a poor kid. I just saw a video of her dancing in the crib. Did you see that video? Paula took a video. She's just dancing in the crib, little happy baby.
No, I didn't see it.
In between her seizures, she actually had happy moments, and she was actually dancing in her crib. And it was really sad because that baby should still be dancing. And she's not. She's dead. Why? Because Governor Christie made her go to a psychiatrist at 1 year old. Governor Christie forced this girl to go to a psychiatrist. What is a psychiatrist going to tell a 1-year-old baby? Except take her time and take... it's sickening. Sickening. Time that she did not have. She waited a quarter of her life. A quarter. Sad, man. Diane Ripatella, Gracie, Cindy May, Marie, Jack Split, and his caregiver just got put in jail. The guy who made medicine for Jack just got thrown in jail for making medicine for Jack. For trying to keep that kid alive, he's thrown in jail.
In New Jersey?
Colorado. Peterson. It's one of my friends on Facebook, Peterson. Sad. Joan Ford, it's William's mother. Randy Robertson. Bill Buckman. Chad. Jeremy. Colette. Matt. Troy from pancreatic cancer. Russ Perry. Roger Barber. Jay Oleto. Ella Bagelman. Hattie Koshel. Honeyb, are you there?
I'm here. I sure am.
Michael Dillon was your son. He had horrible seizures, and he died from a drop seizure.
Yep.
He was in his 20s.
He sure tried to do whatever he could to be independent.
He tried maybe
And
too
he
hard.
didn't have to be.
He didn't have to be. Well, I know people with drop seizures are afraid to leave the house. They're afraid to take showers. They're afraid to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
He seemed to do his own thing, though. He wanted to do his thing.
He sure did.
I mean,
that was hard.
Yeah, what do you do? Stay in the house all day or go out? What do you do? I mean, it's a horrible choice to give people. You want to be a shut-in and not go out, wear a helmet all day, and be safe, or go out and live your life? What kind of choice is that? I'm sorry, Honeybee, but we will remember him every week. All of these people on our list, we'll remember them. Helpful, hurtful, hopeful. Healful and healthful. Yeah, healthful. Whenever you're ready, Honeybee.
Okay. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.